Let's go ahead and say, all right. So, welcome everyone to the Casanova podcast. I'm your host, Mekel Kasanova, Hawaii's favorite YouTuber. We're coming at you with In Duo. He's the industry insider. We're going to be talking about a lot of things from the politics and gaming. We're going to talk about these armchair analysts. We're going to heavily go in on these guys. But before we do all that, In Duo, go ahead, plug your channel. Let's do some introductions. Let's go ahead and talk about some real stuff. Let's tell people who you are.
No problem. Well, basically, In Duo is a dual channel between me and my sister. I'm Liger, one half of it. Katie's the other part of it. So basically, people call me Liger. Basically, in 2014, 13, really, we started our channel, and small channel. I did it just for fun and as a hobby. Always has been. I don't care for the whole try to be famous on YouTube and that stuff, but people have come and asked a lot of inside stuff, and I'm an insider by doing just I own a company that does audio engineering, and I've worked with EA, Microsoft, Sony, Platinum Games. I've done a couple of stuff with Platinum Games. I literally have been into the secret Kyoto office in Nintendo in 2015. The new office, when they opened up, I was there, and I got in there and saw how Breath of the Wild was coming along and all the exclusive stuff like that, and I enjoyed it. And Square Enix, like stuff like that. So I work with a lot of gaming studios. Also, I can't forget one of my games. I also worked on Red Steel 2, which was a good game.
Damn good.
And
game.
Ubisoft. So yeah, I've been spread around working games since 2005 until now. Been working in the industry.
That's amazing, man. Like that's really, and it's funny because there's so many people that talk about how they have this insight, like the new Xbox is coming in 2020. My friend, like I know you saw that video.
Yeah. Yeah. Look. I'm not, like I said, I might be industry insider to certain cases, and I could tell you the bad parts about it. Because again, working with EA, they gotta pay me a lot of money for me to work with them again. Because I ain't. I've seen some stuff. I've seen some stupid stuff from them, but the Xbox stuff, the PlayStation, like the Arm Chair Analysts who's look. My channels are about having fun. I do talk about numbers and sales. But in relevancy, I always talk that if this game sells this much, it's because of a budget, not because of things. Because again, Metal Gear Phantom Pain, everybody loves that game, mostly love that game, and good. It was a financial flop. Final Fantasy 15, a financial flop. Sorry, the budget was too crazy, and that's what's been going on too much lately nowadays. So when you hear, as I had to do a video which you commented on, we'll talk about the 3DS. Or then the Wii U, where everybody said, "Oh, the Wii U was a flop." Was it? It was a flop in the, we call it, I forget what people call it, in the popularity. It wasn't the popular thing. It was that, and I would succeed to that. The name was not good, but financially it was not. But people just go off the narrative of IGN, GameSpot, and just just repeat what they say. And if you go to the IR pages of Nintendo and you see how, well, again, his simple economics 101. If your profit margin is higher than your operational profit costs, you're making money. And people don't. Again, sorry, if your cost was $5 and you made a $10 profit, you have $10. You made a $5 profit. You still made money. People don't know that, so. It's crazy.
Yeah. So there's a commenter in the chat, also Jiggly. So he asked, he said Final Fantasy 15 was a flop for real. Yeah. Financially it was. Yeah.
Financially it was a flop. It was supposed to send Final Fantasy 15 is supposed to sell 10 million in the first year. It did not. It sold 7.5. It did not. And that was just to make its money back. That was just to be, even. We put in this much money into it. It's supposed to be that. It didn't happen. And the reason I said I know this because I also worked on Final Fantasy 15 with that and the movie. And one of my friends like, so why you don't take royalties from them? I said, to the hell I won't. I'm gonna get my money up front, and if it fails, I take a low royalties, get my money up front, and if it works, it works. But I started in writing that they spend too much money on the engine, too much money on the advertising. They redid the engine like 5 times. They broke the budget 4 times. It was like, yeah, this is a mess coming up. So I took my money and bounced.
Yeah, that game, because that was in development for, I know they announced it in, what was it?
I think it was 2006 or 7.
Yeah, but it had been in development since what, 2003?
Could be. I mean, I got into the I got in 2014 to help him out. So yeah, this was it was just whatever. And I'll give an example. Like I said, the Phantom Pain, the budget for that game. The budget for the game was 140 million. That's what the budget was for the Phantom Pain, and when it sold 6 million the first year, it was still nowhere close to making the money back, and that's why it was a financial flop. It was good. Everybody had high praises for it. That's what I'm saying. It's good, but if these companies don't make money from their investment, they're gonna go under. That's what THQ. That's what a lot of these companies going down. In 2000, in the seventh generation, 109 studios shut down.
What?
Yes, 109 studios. I'm not talking no mobile stuff. I'm talking about serious studios. I have a list. I could email you. You can see it. Yeah, 109 studios shut down in the seventh generation because the budgets got too crazy and people didn't take into it.
Good God. I mean, that's why I'm wondering, like, Respawn, what's going on with them? Because every time I turn around, like, Titanfall 2 is ludicrously cheap. And I'm like, it's a good game. It just
I have the game, and it's a good game. EA screwed them on that one. You put that between Doom, Gears of War, Call of Duty, and Battlefield, it's not gonna do well. And the thing about it that sucked about it is that Titanfall 1, I played it, but I didn't like it because I'm not a multiplayer person, online multiplayer person. That's not me. I like single player more than anything. So I liked it, but I didn't get into it. But when Titanfall 2 come and they said they're gonna rechange this over, and I was like, oh man, I bought it for PC. I was like, this is what it's all about. I was like, damn, this is a good story, and I like it. But again, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Gears of War, Doom. That sucked up all. He's a shooter. No matter what, even if it's a different style of shooter, it's a shooter, and he sucked up everything.
Yep.
And I think if I have to say, this is conjecture. This is me just theorizing. I think EA did that so they could buy him.
It makes sense.
Buy him on a cheap. I think that's what EA did that. The sad part about it is when those guys were talking about, well, we work with EA, it's going to be great, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, they just shut down another studio. EA has shut down 14 studios in 13 years. Not a good record.
Golly, that's crazy.
Not a good record. I would be like, I look at EA as a plague. And as last night I was talking in the studio with some guys, they're like, because we're talking about the Division. And I'm like, Ubisoft is going to be doing this. I said, look, Division, Ubisoft, he said, what he said? Oh, that was saying that EA. Yeah. That the game would have died if it was EA. I said, no. EA, and he was comparing it to Mass Effect Andromeda. I said, the only reason Mass Effect Andromeda got messed up because EA rushed them. It was because of greed.
Yeah.
EA's all the game studios that fail or go down is because of EA's greed. Ubisoft is because they do bad programming. That's the difference. Because it was crazy to see what they did. And of course, the industry is what it is, but from my perspective, I've said this to many people. Look, we're in a capitalist nation to a degree, but we're in a capitalist nation. We're in a capitalist nation, but all these YouTubers and everybody arguing for stuff like, hey, if you guys want to, stop, if you guys want to stop all these bad practices, it's a simple thing to do. And I've been saying it all for my channel. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Speak with your wallet. If you don't like it, don't do it, and they will go back. The problem with EA is too big, but you gotta hit them constantly. You just can't let them get off with Star Wars Battlefront. You can't let them just get away with that. You got to keep on saying, okay, we're not going to do this, because right now Anthem is not, to me, from what I'm seeing, Anthem is not shaping up to be what they said it's going to be. I think it's going to be way different than I think EA. Those guys are talking too much, and it's going to be way less than a lot of people think. You looked at when you look at E3, you're like stunned.
Didn't they push that back another year?
Yeah. No, there's a lot of games that got pushed back. A lot of games got pushed back. That's why, and I will say this to you, because again, I am in Duo and is a Nintendo channel mostly, but I talk about all game systems again. And as I was telling you that, yeah, if anybody's watching, I don't care what you play. Just enjoy. It's your money. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. Go out there, enjoy the games. I don't care if you bought a game that sold 2 copies. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. That's not on me to tell you, oh, dude, you bought a stupid game. If you enjoy it, go ahead. But if you make arguments saying that we need to stop these broken games and all this stuff, that's what come out of you and say, well, dude, sorry. I can't blame, I could say EA is bad for doing this, but they wouldn't do it if you wouldn't buy it.
Exactly. And that's one thing I've noticed too, is like with the industry, there are, and I think this is also why like a lot of companies don't send out review copies of games anymore, because you have YouTubers and journalists like IGN and whatnot and GameSpot that will actually, everything that they say, because a lot of people have a sheep mentality, they will either make the game or completely destroy it based off what they say. And there are some games that are phenomenal that just don't get played because you got, some YouTuber that didn't like a mechanic. I mean, thankfully that didn't happen to games like what was a game that came out last year? Was it Cuphead?
Yeah,
where you had the journalist who couldn't even do the tutorial.
Oh, don't even get me started on that, man. Holy crap! No, you're right. You're right. Go ahead, but you're right. Go ahead.
No, but it's like it all it takes is for one person or a group of people to not like something, and they're gonna go on the tirade and bash it over and over and over, and then you're gonna get to a point where people are just gonna have this mentality, oh, it's not a good game. And that's why, like, even on my reviews, like when I review games or give review codes, I try to tell people you need to go out and play these games for yourself, because there may be something that I dislike about it
that I like.
Yeah,
like, and that's why I said my thing is, what's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. And that's my mantra on my channel, because there might be mechanics that I love, and then there's mechanics that you'll hate. And what you love, I'll hate. And then again, you can't make everybody happy. That's the old saying. You can make people happy some of the time. You can make some of the people happy all of the time, but you can't make everybody happy all of the time. You just can't.
Yeah, you
can't do that. And when you talk about the reviews, trust me, I have my little rant about that crap that happened. Cuphead, phenomenal game. Sad that had to go through that crap with that guy. Also, Polygon, that freaking website. You can't beat Star Fox Zero on invincibility mode in the first stage. You're invincible. How are you losing? Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes. Oh my That's why they didn't move. That's why they didn't review it. That's why they didn't review it. Polygon did not review Star Fox Zero on the Wii U because they couldn't pass the first stage on invincibility mode.
Oh my god, yo.
They couldn't do it. I was like, what? And it's the same guy who did the whole thing with Doom, Altergeist. It was the same guy. So he's like, this is crappy. And there's another game on 3DS called Codename Steam. They couldn't beat the first boss. I'm like, you guys are gamers? You guys are gamers? Yeah, they changed the review. They did change the review on that one. They gave it a 3, and then let somebody else played it, and then reversed it to a 6. But it was a 3 at first, because I have a video about that. And I was like, and I did it live. And I was like, oh, they changed the review. Oh, you bastards. Okay, yeah, you know what? It was a sound game, but they couldn't figure out the mechanics to get behind the monster and shoot the monster in its weak spot. And I was like, you guys, why are you putting these videos on YouTube? Don't put these. It makes you look stupid. It just does. And if you have those kind of mentality, those guys reviewing stuff, then yeah, your reviews is gonna be crappy. And then we have the gamers on the side of the gamers now, where a 7 is looked as a horrible number. Like, it's good. 5 is the average. That's above average. None should be wrong with a 7 or 6.5. I played a couple 6.5 by a lot of people that was awesome. Again, just like Codename Steam was basically a 3 by Polygon. Play that game, enjoyed it. Didn't care what they said about it because it was a good game. So going to what you're saying, yes, some of these games you do have to play it. But if you see brokenness in it, yeah, I would say you got to stay away from that broken stuff. If you see people talk about the brokenness, yeah, back away from that. But enjoy what games is out there. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's one game, and I know like a lot of people didn't like it, but I really enjoyed what was it called? The Bionic Commando remake from 2009. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I know like the mechanics, they could have been, it was something that I feel like Capcom didn't put enough budget into. I feel like they rushed
budget and time for story. So,
yeah.
I'm not gonna deny it. Like I said, if you enjoy it, that's my point. But they had some mechanics in there that was thing. I didn't play it, so I can't really comment too much. I didn't like the aesthetic of what it was going, and when I heard the story, I was like, you know what? I'll pass on it. Not being negative, no.
You know, and it's like it's games like that, and I could also like bring up like God Hand. That game,
my goodness,
trashed.
But it's a good, it is. The mechanics was solid on that one. I can't argue with that one there. I played it, I enjoyed it. Little kooky. That's platinum though. Well, at the time, Clover Studios, that's what that was. But the mechanics were solid. I didn't see no fault with the mechanics.
And it's like just because the reviewers for those games for that game was trash, all these reviewers just like gave it was a 6 and a 5 and a 4, and I'm like, this game is great. It's hard as fuck. It's really weird, but if you learn the mechanics, it's like it's super good. But you know, and that's one of the things like I'm finding as you know, being a YouTuber as I'm doing these reviews, like I'm seeing all these other YouTubers put out reviews for games. I'm seeing these journalistic sites put out reviews, and I'm questioning the integrity of a lot of these people. Like, for instance, Metal Gear Survive, like that came out. We all got the game the day it released. We didn't get it before. We didn't get it after. We got it the day it released, and they sent emails to, and I got an email chain with all these YouTubers and press people that got it. And basically, you couldn't play it prior to the day it launched because they didn't want to make the servers active. And so like the day it came out, within the first 30 minutes, everyone's throwing up reviews and trashing it. And I'm over here like, hold up. That doesn't make any sense. How do you have a review up for a game we couldn't even play? You know? And it's just, I don't know, man. Like I just really gotten to a point, like I just really the integrity of a lot of YouTubers, man, I question it. I saw was a YouTuber yesterday, Backpocket Game Reviews. He made a video talking about how like a lot of these guys, like there's a lot of integrity issues with a lot of these guys too.
Well, this is something I've seen, and we talked about this just before we went on live. Look, there's a lot of people who go to my channel and say, all I have is 320 some subs. I don't really keep up with the subs that much. Like I said, I put content up there for fun and just it's a hobby. But there's a lot of people who you go to the comment section, and others like, man, you should be way bigger and this and this. I'm like, I don't care for the numbers. I'm doing this for fun. I don't care for the numbers. And the reason I said that because I've seen channels that started out small, and then when they start changing to think I could get YouTube money, they do clickbait and stupid stuff after that. I was like, what? I used to like, I'll call it now. I used to like RGT85. He used to be in North Carolina, and now he moved to Delaware. When he first started with the Nintendo enthusiasts, I used to like the guy. He used to be this and that, and now he's doing clickbaity stuff that's make me think like, why are you doing that? When you was honest to yourself when you was that, now you're doing this, and I'm like, okay. And he quit his job to move to Delaware to make YouTube his only way to make money. And I'm like, well, good luck on that, homie. I wish you the best. Because all these YouTubers, the thing that annoys me the most about YouTube reviewers or big YouTubers, except for the PewDiePie and Markiplier, they're making millions of dollars. They got millions of subs. That's understandable. That's a business. That's kind of a business for them. They're making money. But these guys like the Richard Review Tech and all these little channels, whatever stuff, because like I gotta tell you a story, Richard Review, because it's hilarious. He's one of those guys who don't make sense too. But when they get to that point, and they talk about, well, we want copyright strikes and we don't want this and all that stuff. I'm like, well, I can even give an example. Dreamcast guy, as we were talking about, Dreamcast guy, he had a video. He talked about that Watch Mojo took his video when he did the top 10 or whatever, Big Lies.
I remember that too.
Yeah, and he talked about it. He was angry about it. I got you. The things that he said, and RG8 and all those guys were defending him, and I'm saying the thing that they were saying, I was like, one, you can't prove that. Two, you can't prove that they took it there. That's one. So it ain't gonna work in court. Two, a lot of these YouTubers think just because you put a video on YouTube or Facebook, whatever, here's the thing, you publish it public. You didn't went to the copyright office and copyright it, so anybody could take it.
Yeah, it's in public vernacular.
Yeah, so you don't own it. Now, if I copyright something or register my company and copyright it like a Sony or Nintendo or whatever, yes, I can. They can sue you. They can do stuff. Watch Mojo did said something, and he was very very threatening, and he took the video down. Technically speaking, if I was him, I was like, F you, I'm not taking the video down. What are you gonna do? Sue me? I'm broke. Go right ahead. I don't care. But he took it down because he took it down because they was basically saying they were gonna sue him for what do you call it? Defaming their name, basically. And he cowered away from that. So I say, hey, you know what? But a lot of these guys think just because you're on YouTube and you publish a video, no, unless you copyright the video in the video, whatever, you don't have the rights to it. YouTube is making money off of you because you simply just take a video and put it up on there. It's not copyrighted. It's not. You got to know that.
And that's the thing I've noticed a lot of these YouTubers, they have no understanding of business practices. They think that just because they get on, they bitch and moan in front of a camera, that means they have the right to something or they're entitled to this. And it's like, no, that's not true. You guys need to understand the copyright laws. Like a lot of them don't understand that. They think just because they'll put something in their description of their video, they're covered. No, it's
not. But here's the thing. Everybody always hit the fair use, and I've done videos on this a lot because again, being in the music industry, I know about the thing. Here's the thing. You can use people's stuff. Fair use. What people don't read, and I have a video on my channel specifically linking you to the in Congress where the whole thing is. You gotta read. Sorry, I know a lot of gamers don't like to read certain things now. We got rid of manuals because people don't want to read gaming manuals because people don't want to read. But you got to read the thing, but it breaks down to this. I could take Jay-Z's music and put in my video. I can if I wanted to. The thing is, when it's fair use, I'm using it for educational or spreading the news, whatever. But I can't make money off of it. So if I'm gonna do this just because I have a lot of copyrights. I go say, yeah, I do have a lot of copyright strikes on my channel, but my channel's in great standings because I don't make money from it. I don't monetize my videos because I don't care about that stuff. And sometimes, and also a lot of things too. The YouTube bots are ridiculous. Okay, it's just stupid. The algorithm is sucky as hell because there are videos that clearly has music that's from Nintendo or from a rapper or whatever. In other cases, they get a hint of it, they copyright it. When you hear the whole freaking song, I don't get a copyright strike. I'm like, these bots are shitty. Holy crap. These are some crappy bots. I literally like this. The video that you saw is basically Mic Check. That's from Julian Santana back in the 2000s when he did the Mic Check song. Okay. The video that has that song by itself is copyright strike. Okay. But any video that I use as an intro, because I did my own rap on it and as an intro, any video like that, no copyright strike. It's the same song, same video, nothing changed. So it's just, yeah, YouTube itself is this thing. But going back to what you were saying, yes, it is crazy that these guys, they started off good, they got famous, or they got some kind of fame, they felt it, and then with that they start doing clickbaits, putting up because they have to feed that algorithm of YouTube having a constant video all the time.
Yeah.
So they do this, basically kind of sell their soul just to get it. And I'm sorry, if you put your money in YouTube, and that's what I had with Jim Sterling and everything, and I proved Jim Sterling wrong with his video, which is funny because he answered his own question in that video. But because every time I go to these guys, because I'm a Nintendo fan, so they always like, well, Nintendo don't want us to copyright this, blah blah blah. I'm saying, okay, when you can play NFL NBA games fully without getting copyright strike, then tell me about Nintendo. And Jim Sonny did a video with WWE, and WWE kept on copyright striking his video. And so in the video, he said, "Well, I'm not gonna do this no more because WWE is striking out my videos." I'm like, see, you can't do that with them. Why so different with others? And all the people's like, "Well, it's free advertisement." Yeah, okay, free advertisement. That's what you call it. You making money. I don't even want to get into that because that's a whole infuriating thing for me. The whole free advertisement.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, the Arm Chair Analysts guys, I don't like calling them that, but it is that because you guys don't make sense with your numbers. It just don't. Well, technically speaking, you don't even say the numbers. You don't. And the reason like Mekel asked him because the last video I did is called "Is 3DS Alive?"
That was a damn good video.
And it has a lot of Nintendo fans who saying Nintendo should kill off the 3DS. Here's the problem though. I have a video that came out when the 2DSL came out, and I said, if this thing picks up, I could see Nintendo supporting the 3DS until 2019 because it's going to sell. So in that video, I backed it up by saying, one, the 3DS sales went up. At the end of 2017, this is just pure software at the end of 2017, and there are going to be some bigger numbers coming out at the end of this month because this is Nintendo's end of the year, their financial end of the year. But at the end of 2017, December, the 3DS sold 55.08 software in that year. Mm-hmm. The Switch, which is the hottest thing people are talking about, sold only 52.57 million software. Why would I kill off the 3DS if he's selling more than the Switch software was? Or by the end of this, by the financial year, the Switch might overtake it because it has some good sales. But the 3DS is keeping up with that number. So why would I kill it? That don't make no business sense.
No, it really doesn't. And it's the thing that it's just what's getting me, man. I see so many people keep saying, "Oh, I'm just ready for it to die already." Here's something simple: don't buy it.
Thank you.
You know.
Thank you. If you they think that this is the thing that killed me. The guys in the video that I use, what annoys me, gamers saying they don't want games. That's weird on its own. But you guys say, I don't want this game. I don't kill the 3DS. These are arguing that these games are coming to the 3DS. Why do you give it to the 3DS? All of you bitches have the 3DS. Every one of y'all have the console. It's not like you got to go out and buy a PlayStation 4 Pro because you ain't got the game. You don't have to do that. You have it. You guys play games. So why are you bitching? Jeez. Exactly. All right, the Switch should be popular. Look, I could give a rat's ass if the Switch is the number one. I did a video about this with the Wii U. I don't care if the Wii U is last or the Switch is number one or the Wii was one and the Switch is last. You give me good games, you got my pocket money. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's all about quality.
Yeah. And these guys using numbers again. Don't remember. I have a video with Angry Joe, and he still ain't did it, which is funny as hell. Angry Joe, like, I was suing Nintendo. I was suing you if you copyright my video from Zelda. I'm like, look, Joe, Zelda was gonna be the biggest game of 2017, which it was. You're trying to get on the hype. You're not gonna. I said, you know, go if Sony, and Sony did last couple times Nintendo. If Sony, Philips, and a lot of Texas Instruments, those guys have millions of dollars. If those guys can't beat Nintendo, what think you gonna beat Nintendo? A regular YouTuber? Get the heck out of here with that stuff, man.
Yeah, man. And what got me about Angry Joe was I could have swore he said he would never do another Nintendo video or anything that they have. And the next thing I know, he's trying to do Zelda, and then he's bitching about the copyright, and I'm like, you're making money off of something that they made. Like, come on, guy.
But the thing about it, I talked to Joe once, and he understand where I was coming from, but he was just plain ignorant, and I was like, that's stupid, dude. Maybe that's why he never talked to me again. because I said, dude, okay, you the content you don't play on your channel is Nintendo's content. Okay, think of yourself as a bar.
Yeah.
Have the free drinks, get the ladies in. The ladies come in, you'll get more guys. So take the hit with the Nintendo stuff that you can't copyright, and you get more Nintendo fans to come to your channel and maybe watch your Rambo review or your other review or your Dragon Ball Fighters review because they're gonna like your content. You're gonna take the hit, but it's like you pay $1 to get $5. Yeah. Do that.
I love that you bring up that club because I used to be a club promoter out here in Hawaii. So it's so true. It's like, how do you make so much business in a club? You let the ladies in free. The guys come in, they buy the girls drinks, they pay for them to get in. It makes so much sense.
That's the sad part. And as you just said, and even though I listen to other videos, I don't use the word common sense no more, political or gaming, because common sense means you got to be common. I say simple sense now because it's not common no more. Yeah. It's dead. It's just dead. I don't say it no more because that is just what you just said makes sense, and that's why I told Joe, and he was like, yeah, and then he just, like I said, I tried to text him back again, and he didn't. I was like, you know what? Go right ahead. And that's why I made that video about him, because I'm like, go right ahead, dude, and Sunitana, please. That's why when I did my last stream, there were people like hashtag Sunitana jerk. I was like, wow. God, they were brutal with it. But yeah, that's the stuff with YouTube. Yeah, these guys, look, if YouTube, I'll be honest, YouTubers have never persuaded me superly. Like I never made a decision, and I've talked about this with reviews. Like you have your reviews, I do reviews too, but I call it review discussion because I don't give a score. I just said, hey, like when I did Xenoblade Chronicles X for Wii U, and I got the Japanese version of it way before the American version, and I give a review on it. I was like, hey guys, this is the bad, this is the good. You make your decision, have fun at it. I don't put those scores in because I want, like you said, I want you to go out there and play the game, or in my philosophy, look at other YouTubers, just get a spectrum. Add your IGN and GameSpot, but then add a YouTuber, then add another. Just add multiple sources so you could get a good thing. Because I saw the video with Renegade GP, the racing game on the water, and then I saw your review. I was like, you know what? Let me take some more videos again, and I combine all that together. So you know what? I'm gonna buy this, and I enjoyed it. I beat the game. I bought it, $10. It was a good $10 I spent. I enjoyed it. Have a little frustration with the daggone last boss, the bastard. That whole, you know what? No, the reason I said I had it because it reminded me of F-Zero on the GameCube.
Yeah.
That last boss where to beat him, you gotta go. You cannot mess up once.
Yeah, you have to be fully perfect to beat him.
Yeah, so I was like, holy crap. But like I say, seeing what you said and other people said, I'm like, you know what? It's $10. Let me enjoy that. And I went, bought it. And I'm like I said, I'm happy I saw your video that said, hey, this is a good game. Let me enjoy it. And I did.
Yeah, man, that's like one of the things I've run into a lot with a lot of games. It's like, as I started doing reviews, and I, growing up watching, reading stuff like EGM magazine and Game Pro magazine, and then getting into watching YouTubers putting numbers on it. I'm like, how do you put, a number on a game? But how is that quantifiable? Because, a 5 to you might be a 10 to me. I can just say, here's a good, here's the bad. I think it's a buy, but ultimately it's your decision,
Yeah, I don't have the problem with the whole buy or rent or whatever. That's cool with me. That was more easier because it's up to you to look at what the person said. And the sad thing about it is gamers. I have videos on this too, where they just go to the chat, like I did about IGN with Halo 5 and other games, but Halo 5 is the one that most people saw that one. You go to IGN and you read the review, it does not reflect that score. They were saying all kind of negative things in the reader review, but a lot of people don't read the review. They just see, oh, it's a 7, it's an 8, it's a 10. Oh, that's great. You had people who were saying because Uncharted wasn't a 10, you guys, it's a 9.5. Why are you arguing for 0.5? That means it's a good game. It is a good game. I don't. Why are you guys arguing for that? And then I'll go against people on my side. Nintendo fans, when it went against Jim Sterling, he gave a low score. I'm like, why do you care what Jim said? He don't like. He think it was okay. Blah. That's cool. That's great. No problem. Don't go threaten the man's life because he brought down the score for the Metacritic. Are you stupid? That's a waste of time.
Oh my goodness! Oh, there's a question in the comments from Liquid Metal. He said, "In duo, are you from the Caribbean?" Just wondering because of the accent.
Yep, I'm from the Caribbean. Bingo, from a small little island called Nevis.
Oh, all right, there you go.
Nope, that's why I'm from. Again, trust me, I never think. Look, small island, grew up poor, came to America, got a degree. I met the right people at the right time. That's the best way to explain it. I can't explain it no better way than that. This guy gave me a music deal. The music deal turned into something else. I started making music. Then this other guy wanted me to do music for a movie. That started, and then that guy hooked me up with somebody from EA so I could do music for games. And then it just piece by piece, it just luck. I'm not going to deny that. That's luck and blessings, brother.
Yep. I was gonna say, man, so you weren't oppressed when you came to America, like so many people here say they're oppressed and there's no opportunity.
Again, we could do that for another, we could do that for another podcast. I got my scenes on that crap. No, I was not that. I came to America. I basically came here on a scholarship. I got a great score on the SAT, basically almost a perfect. Mm-hmm. So I came to America. My mom was like, I wanted to stay in St. Thomas, which is my second home. I wanted to stay in St. Thomas. Mm-hmm. And my mom was like, you can get your ass out of here and go to college. Like, all right, I can't argue that. So I came to North Carolina. I went to college. I said, if I don't find a degree, because that is a sad thing that we have right now, there's a lot of degrees out there, a lot of people who got degrees but are flipping burgers.
That's so true.
That's true, and it's sad. It's true, but it's sad. But I said, if I didn't find a job in my degree, which is architecture, I said, then I'm going back home. I just am. But before that, I already started my music company per se. So I had something to fall back on because I had a scholarship. And then when I went to get I get associates and a bachelor's. And when I went to get those things, the scholarship didn't pay for everything, of course. Mm-hmm. But the music helped that. So I came out of college, thank God, debt free. I was so happy. I took one student loan at the beginning just because I was, I was out of state, and the scholarship did not take up the out of state, fill everything else. So I took a loan up, but I paid that off the next year, and I was like, never had a student loan ever again. I was like, thank you. So trust me, I am blessed.
Yeah, man. I know a lot of people, because I came out here to Hawaii to go to college, and a lot of people that I went to school with, and we're all either 30 or turning 30 now. And it's so funny how a lot of them, they're either bartenders, flipping burgers, working at a retail store, working at like a cell phone company, like on the sales side. And none of them are they're not even making real money. And I'm no guy who everyone didn't think would make it because I went through so much shit in college. And I went for marketing, and now I'm working as a system. I'm a business systems analyst for one of the biggest hospitals out here. Yeah, and it's like I run into people, and they're like, "Oh, how did you do that?" I'm like, "Well, I met one guy who introduced me to another person."
See, that's how I was. Exactly, dude. In my wildest dream, coming from that island, being as poor as I was, again, like I heard your story with your other podcasts about being poor. And I said this to Americans, and this is the only way, this is the closest I'll get to politics on this until the next podcast that we do something. Okay. But here's the thing. You, in America, you still have welfare. You still have WIC. You still have all these stuff. You don't want to take them, that's your choice, but you still have that. In my country, we didn't have that crap. Okay, we had an outhouse. You had to bathe outside. We had a one running water pipe outside of the house, and that's where everybody took the shower outside. There was no shack around it, nothing. It was a pipe in open air. So it was females and dudes taking showers outside in open air. You don't want to take a shower at nighttime because you catch your deathly cold. But we had outhouse, we had that. I thought, okay, I'm gonna find some girl here in the islands and start something here in the islands. Then I said nope. Then something pushed me to go to St. Thomas. My mom went to St. Thomas, so I said, okay, I'll find a job and stay in St. Thomas. And there's a story about that. Like I said, that almost kept me there. But I was like, nope, thank God it didn't happen. Went to America. And then in 2007, and of course, with all the stuff I just said, in 2007, I started my company. And we didn't make nothing. We put in money, you put up, the first years is always rough.
Yeah.
Then in 2007, I released an album. I have a contract with Sony to distribute my music, like CDs and stuff like that, and albums. So I released a second one. I have a band. And I released the second album, or sophomore album. And sophomore album. A sophomore album. It sold 1 million in Europe. I was like, what? It went platinum? Holy crap. And then we released another album with some big musicians like Busta Rhymes, 24 Creed, Ludacris, stuff like that. And that went 1 million too. I was like, holy smoke. And then we got awards. In 2007 was one of the best years in my music history. We made $3 million. We turned $20,000 into $3 million. That is crazy. And that's why at the end of the video, if you listen to you saw the video when I talked about the 3DS, what I said when I was talking about how you be fans and don't do this stuff. And I say, you guys Google the O2 Arena. In 2012, I performed at the O2 Arena in England. That's not a small arena. That's not a no-name musician, because I'm not up there with the stars, of course. I'm kind of like I don't know if you've heard of, you could say, the underground people that people like, they vibe with the music and they just go with it. You know what I mean? I get, again, you've heard my music. A lot of people have heard my music, but they don't know who the person is because it's just what it is. Need for Speed, Need for Speed Carbon. When the exotic car come across, when the guy in the exotic car come up, that's our song. You Bounce. Or a couple songs in the FIFA thing. We have songs in there too. So, and same thing I forgot we did with harmonics. I forgot Dance Central. We did a couple songs on Dance Central and stuff like that. So yeah, trust me. Yeah, she just wanted to, I don't know if it's a she or a he, but he's just like, what's going on? You look like another YouTuber, which we should not be naming, but his initial is TJ. That has his cat sit with him. But like you said, with what you say right there, with like I got lucky to do the music stuff, and EA. When I got with EA, I got in there. I did a tail end of Need for Speed Most Wanted, the first one. Worked on that. It was pretty cool. And then started. And after that, of course, we jumped on working on Common because Need for Speed is almost every year. So did that. And I used to be in those pitch for games ideas. And when I see those guys come with these unique, awesome ideas, and these guys at the pitch tee was like, well, let's product test this and let's market test that. I'm like, you're watering down the idea so bad. And I was like, wow, like this dude have a lot of good ideas and you guys are watering it down. I'm like, yeah, I can't be doing this. And then when they start doing the DLC thing with Madden and FIFA, the whole card system, I was like, I'm out. I can't do this. I call it football. I know you guys call it soccer in America. I love football. I'm going to be in the World Cup this year, but I don't like to see what they did with the whole card system. You got to pay microtransactions to get this certain play and all this crap. Nah, I'm not down with that.
I mean, it's gotten to a point that a $62 game now costs you upwards of $120 or more if you factor in all the DLC you're going to be paying for. It's insane.
It's insane. I understand. And again, there are good DLCs. There's bad and there's good. And there's some out there that's worth it and some that's not. if I see you give me a lot of good content at the beginning, I'll buy a DLC pack or a season pass if I feel like it needed. But if I see that you short thrifted me, I'm not gonna buy it. I have not bought one DLC pack for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. But they gave me the first game for free. And they just did an update just last week. They give you more content of fighting with the GT and all that. I'm like, I've not bought nothing. And right now I'm a level 90s, and I just got Super Saiyan God Blue. Like, I've been playing the game nonstop and playing it because I have a story and content to keep on going. But I have more to go. But you have to buy it. But I'm not seen to the point to buy it yet.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought that up because I remember when they announced that game for the Switch, and every one of these armchair analysts were saying that it was going to flop, it wasn't going to sell. You know, nobody's going to want to play a game that's a year old, and it's out. So I believe it's outsold the versions, right? Because
I can't. Look, one thing about me that you learn from politics is that if I don't have the true facts, I'm not gonna lie. Nobody, I'm not gonna say I don't have the answer to that one. I don't. I do know Resident Evil Revelations on Switch outsold PlayStation and Xbox. I do know that one. And I was like, Capcom, what are you thinking? Dude, my videos against Capcom and Konami and all that stuff, again, I don't care about the game. I'm thinking it may, and people will say, well, I'll give an example. People will say, well, man, you bashing them because you want the game on the Switch. No, I don't care if the game is on for a third party like that. I don't care if it's on any. Give it for everybody. Give it for everybody. I don't care.
Yeah.
But you did the Disney Afternoon Collection. That was the game that was on a Nintendo console. That was exclusive to a Nintendo console back in the day. You put it on PlayStation, Xbox. It flopped, of course. Then you came out talking about Mega Man Collection. It's not going to come on the Switch because people were asking for it, whatever. And the thing that ticked me off too is this, like DuckTales Remastered. Even though the Wii U is a dead console, people said it was a failure. It sold 1 million on the Wii U and 500,000 and close to 400,000 on Xbox and PlayStation 4. DuckTales Remastered sold more on the Wii U than those. So Capcom has that number. Then they came up with the Mega Man Collection. They put it on Xbox and PlayStation, and then they put it on the 3DS, the first one. Lo and behold, the 3DS outsold those two things. So when they announced the Mega Man Collection 2, I was like, it's like Capcom, you have your own data that shows that people on the Nintendo console is going to buy this. So like I say, put it on Xbox, put it on PlayStation, but put it on the Nintendo console because you got to buy it. They didn't do it. Then, of course, now they're doing it, which is like it's day and a half late. Resident Evil Revelation, it's sold on the 3DS, good, and then they put it to all the consoles, of course, you know that. And then they said we're gonna do it. It's coming to Xbox and PlayStation. Okay, Capcom. At that time, my argument was, you have the PlayStation 4 with all the iteration, Xbox with all its iterations. That's combine all those things together. You have more than 130 million install base. All right. This Resident Evil Revelation came out 1 month later than the Resident Evil than on those consoles, and he outsold those consoles. Nintendo Switches at 14 million at the time. Yeah. Capcom, what are you doing? Okami HD, it sold only on the Nintendo's consoles. It never sold on the PlayStation console, which is sad. I bought it on PlayStation 2, and it was a good game. And then they put it over to the Wii, and I bought it there too, and I enjoyed it. And it sold on the Wii because of the budget. And people would always say, "Well, the numbers because it didn't take that much money to put it over to the Wii." That's what happened. So that's what happened. They made money. Then they did the HD version on the PlayStation 3. Flopped. Right now, I won't be surprised that the Okami HD on the Switch outsell Xbox and PlayStation. It's sad, but there's games that sold on on the Nintendo console that didn't sell on the other consoles, and there are games on the other consoles that don't sell on Nintendo consoles. But people don't look at those things together. Because I give you one with Ubisoft. Why the hell you put Raven Rabbids when the first one? It was a motion control game for the Wii. And the Move and the Kinect was not out yet. Why you put it on Xbox and PlayStation? To the buttons. It didn't sell. Of course it didn't sell. But that was weird. That's the same thing with No More Heroes. That's the same thing with Okami, like I just said. Same. There are games that did good on one console, did it over and again. I could say the same thing for PlayStation to Xbox, Xbox to PlayStation. We know a lot of RPGs are not going to sell on the Xbox. Sad to say, that's just what it is. It's sad, but it don't.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox is more online. I had to say shooter. It could be action, Western RPGs, because Skyrim does sell well on the Xbox. And I'm like, that's cool, but there's certain games that just doesn't. You need to. If you're a third party company, the way I look at it is put it on all three platforms, or if you're gonna take a unique feature and put it on one platform, then make it exclusive. That's your choice. But don't water it down and then give it to everybody. Don't give it to everybody, or don't be in the middle. That's the best way I could say that one right there.
Yeah, it's like with Devil May Cry HD collection. Like, I have no idea why that did not come to the Switch at the same time as coming to. It just came to the Xbox and the PlayStation 4. And I'm like, when I was streaming it last night, I'm like, this should have been on those platforms. It should have been on the Switch, because if they want to make money, every time Capcom seems to do as most will say, a lazy port. I don't think it's a lazy port. But
okay. If you played it and you think so, yeah, I'm not played it, so.
It's lazy in the compression techniques that they use.
Look, got you. Go ahead. I'm gonna say something. Go ahead.
No, but in the FMV compression, yeah, it's lazy. But at the same time, I understand that Capcom doesn't have the money to take a lot of risks that they want to. Financially, they can. I think a lot of gamers don't understand why they constantly they're trying to make money off of games that they bombed over the last decade.
No, yeah. I have my own personal story with Devil May Cry, because Devil May Cry 2 was the reason why Hideki doesn't want to do sequels.
Really?
Because they took his name and put it on there. He never made the game.
Oh wow.
It was the most broken game. If you played the original one, it was broken as hell.
Yeah.
And they put his name on there, and he was like, what the whoa, what the hell? And that thing also happened with Suda 51, and also Shinji Mikami. That's why a lot of people don't like Capcom. A lot of studio game designers didn't like Capcom at the time, because Shinji Mikami, it was an exclusive deal to do Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. Again, I didn't care that he went to PlayStation 2, but he went on the GameCube. They broke the contract. And he was like, whoa, this is not what I wanted. This is why it has this, blah, blah, blah. They didn't want it. So, okay. Shinji Mikami was like, you know what? And then, of course, you get, Resident Evil 5 and 6. And he's like, okay. He bounced at 6. He was like, no, I can't do this no more. Y'all making it too action shooty and not what I usually had it for. So he bounced at that. And the same thing with Suda 51. He did No More Heroes. Ubisoft. Well, let's put it on the move. Let's put it because of this PlayStation had to move. Okay. You put it over here. Nobody bought the game. Where does it even? I'll ask anybody who's listening to this, and nobody's never answered this question, so it's basically a dummy question. It's a rhetorical question, because I know nobody has ever found this. Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles 1 and 2 was on the Wii. Sold 2 million, 1 million plus respectively of each of them. They took it, combined it, did an HD collection on the PlayStation 3. The only numbers I could find is that it sold 11,000, not 100,000, not 1,100, 11,000 of that game. 11.
My goodness, man.
Again, if anybody could find the numbers that did, I would send it to Enduo. I will look at it and back, because it's Sun Games is just weird as it is, and a lot of developers have. The gamers say they want a lot of good games, and I respect that. But a lot of the delays is because everybody's trying to do these new engines, everybody's trying to do these graphical upgrades, and it's just killing the industry. It really is.
Yeah, the one game I feel is phenomenal that should have gotten more recognition was Lost Odyssey on the Xbox 360. That game is graphically and gameplay wise, I thought it was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And people didn't buy it is because I think a lot of it has to do with like going back to what you said about different platforms cater to different types of gamers. A
Yeah.
lot of Xbox gamers at the time didn't really care for Japanese RPGs, and I think the industry as a whole kind of shifted away from that to shooters. So it's like
after Modern Warfare and Activision post up the numbers they made with Modern Warfare 4, when they did that, everybody wanted. It's just like the sad part about it. What happened in gaming is what happened to music, what happened to movies, whatever. If you see one franchise do something just disgustingly making a lot of money, everybody's trying to copy it, emulate it. That's the sad part. Everybody does. Because I'll give you something. I'll give a little test right here. That's small, nothing hard. But here's this: in seventh generation, what was, and that's what, and this is true. This is let me see. What franchise was the most popular in the seventh generation? It basically is popular now still, but it lost its luster. But everybody knows it. You just said it, kind of.
I did.
Yeah, I just said the answer to you just a second ago.
Oh, the Call of Duty.
Bingo. That's the most popular. That was the most popular franchise. But here's the thing: one game made more money than the majority of those games combined. One game, and the profit, and as a profit margin, it destroyed all the Call of Duties together. Even though they made hundreds of millions, maybe billions of dollars. What do you think it is?
Modern Warfare 2?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. It's on a Nintendo console.
Black Ops 2?
No, it's not a Call of Duty game. No, it's not a Call of Duty game. No.
Wait.
It's on a Nintendo console, but it's not a Call of Duty game.
I don't know.
Mario Kart Wii. It took $20 million to make that game. That game sold 37 million, of course, on the Wii, and made over $2.5 billion for Nintendo. One game.
Holy crap.
One game. One game. That's not that. One game did that.
Goodness.
Trust me, every time I show people that, I talk like, dude, that's why I say I talk about within budgets.
Wow.
That's why I did that. That's why on that 3DS game, the 3DS video that you saw, when I talked about Kirby or stuff, Kirby Planet Robot on the 3DS that came out 2 years ago. To make its money back, all I needed to sell was 250,000. That's all I needed to make his money back. That game got released in Japan a month before it came to America. You know, in the first 2 weeks, he sold over 250,000 in the first 2 weeks. So he already made his money back. So after that, coming to America and Europe, it's just gravy. It's just profit, straight profit. You put in your investment, you make your investment back. Everything now goes to being profit now.
Oh, so we got in the chat. That game collector in the chat, he says, yeah, but Mario Kart Wii, it sold that many. It only did because it was bundled with the systems.
It was bundled with the system, but let me see. Every game that outdid in that generation was bundled with a Wii, because you had a Wii Fit. That was bundled with it. Wii Sports Resort was not bundled with the Wii and still sold 34 million. So the thing, and I'm not disclaiming what he's saying. The thing is that exclusives matter, and Nintendo know what they were doing. Same thing with Sony and PlayStation, and Sony and Microsoft. That's why Microsoft is hurting now. I'm sorry, I have nothing against Xbox, but you can go to my channel and find the charts and the numbers that I put up from since 2012. The shareholders of Microsoft wanted to get rid of the Xbox division. And they had it in their meetings. You could go back and look at it. You got to read the PDFs, but you could read the comment notes that the Xbox division has made no more than 1% profit for Microsoft.
Yeah,
they don't care for it. The Xbox One was I hate that. Sorry, The original Xbox. I hate that dumb thing that I really do. The original Xbox never made a profit.
Mm.
That's what's messed up. The 360 was going to be great and it was going to make profit. Then came, of course, Red Ring of Death. That fucked everything up. They made profit. They were going to make profits. Then Red Ring of Death came, which was, if you learn what the Red Ring of Death was, that was just shitty soldering. It should have never happened. But they did shitty soldering, and then he decided the game console basically separated the metal, which is messed up. But the Red Ring of Death destroyed that. But in 2010, they did start making profits again, which is good. That's what they did. Xbox One, no, they sold it. PlayStation 4, the same. They sold the consoles for loss because they thought that the third party's game is going to make it up for them. They sold it for loss. Right now, I think Xbox did the most damaging thing to do. I don't know why they try to compete with PlayStation in certain way. I think you should have kept the Xbox One X as the Scorpio and call it your next generation. Yeah. You should have just said, hey guys, we're gonna have exclusive. You shouldn't handicap the developers to try to make games to run on all three, the SX and the Xbox and the One. You could have said, okay, let them tap into the full power on the Xbox One. Then we have backwards capability with all Xbox One games. You would have had a big library to keep you until the Crackdown and all the other games, the Sea of Thieves, anything super exclusive to come at you that you could have keep on doing that. But they screwed that up. I think they messed up by not doing that. Because now people, like you started when we first talk about, now they're going to release a console in 2020, in 220. Let me get this straight. You release a console in 2013. Then you release a console, then you did an upgrade in 2016. Then you redid it again in 2017, losing money. Then you're going to do a next one 2 years from now? That doesn't make money. It doesn't. And I was there at Platinum Games where I was so sad. I played that game and that game was phenomenal. What I played, which was Scalebound, yes. And I was thinking, I can't wait. This might be the reason I might buy me an Xbox One. And then of course, I made a video where like, oh, they're going to bring it to PC. Well, I ain't got to worry about buying the Xbox One. It's going to be the PC. So I'm going to enjoy it. But I played the game. I was thinking everything was good. What happened was Phil Spencer, their team took half of Hideki's team, put it on, what again? They put on the Halo Wars 2. Mm-hmm. So they cut him in half. Then when the team came back, I ain't gonna say Phil Spencer per se, but the heads really, well, he's the head of it. But the people with the game design above, including with their team, Microsoft Studios, saying, okay, we need to get this game out in 5 months. And he was like, no, you took half of my team and then you want me to rush the game? No. And that's why he dissolved. That's why he got dissolved, because you're not going to take half my team and then force me to do something on that quickly. And we've seen Assassin's Creed Unity, Andromeda. I mean, the list could go on of games that got rushed and was broken. You can't do that. You have to have, and like I said, I've been in there. The one thing about gaming I hate is crunch time, and everybody goes through this. It sucks when you have to do the coding and quality check for the last 2 or 3 months, depending on which company it is. It is ridiculous in there, man, to get that code right and right. And the problem with a lot of these guys is I have an exclusive video on my channel that shows you, animation-wise, of course, but shows you what happens to why the games get broken, because these guys do not clean up their codes. The reason you can't compress because the codes are so broken. So if the codes are broken, you can't compress them, and then you can't compress them. You're gonna have, there's so many codes that are gonna run on, like a run-on sentence, it's gonna keep on running on, and that's where you get glitches. You gotta get bugs. No, every game has bugs. Every game has a bug. Every game has a glitch. But game breaking glitches is becoming a norm now, and it's sad that's what's happening lately.
It's almost like we're back to like the original Nintendo. Because the original Nintendo had so many broken games that they were just selling. They just didn't care. And it's like the current generation of games being made now are just coming out broken. You know, we'll throw it out there and then we'll throw a patch out later.
Well, remember Ubisoft, what Ubisoft head director said this in 2015. He said that in the way now that we have download and we could download patches and everything, we could make a game that's 80% good and put it on market and then patch it 20% the way through via patches. I'm like, yeah. Well, what happened if somebody who don't got a good internet? What happens if somebody don't want to play online? What happens if the code, the patch doesn't sync up the way you want it to sync up to the game to rewrite the codes? You're gonna get a broken game. Assassin's Creed Unity was a good example of that. Where you got melted face and eyeball.
Yeah, that's so true.
And the same thing with Division. What happened to they fixed the Division after years of working on it, but when the Division came out, it was broken, and every patch they sent in there, Division made the Division game had something that a lot of games didn't have. A lot of my friends call it Skynet. When they send the patches in, the patches created a bug that kept duplicating itself.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So that's why you when you get into the dark zone and you can't see crap and you fall into the floors like crazy. Yep, they try to patch it, and then it made more bugs.
Oh man.
Yeah, coding has gotten, and again, half of these bad coders, half of it is because the publishers rush these guys to rush the games and it just fall apart.
So would you say that's what sets Nintendo apart from the developers for these third party and for Sony and for
I'll give you honestly, that sets Nintendo different from Sony and Microsoft, but I'll say this: Sony, Nintendo, and all their second parties, Way Forward, Platinum, the Monster Hunter team for Capcom, some teams from Namco Bandai. These are guys who take their time to make sure the game works. Their reputation is on their quality. I have never played a game from Way Forward that was broken. Never have played one yet. I've never seen nobody put a video on YouTube that is broken. It could be out there. Don't get me wrong. It could be out there, but I never seen people rant and rave about it like they did with Mass Effect Andromeda, like Star Wars Battlefront, like Assassin's Creed Unity, like the Shadows of Mordor. I've not seen people, or Skyrim. It's famous for that crap. I've not seen it. I've not seen it. Again, does game like a Breath of the Wild? Yeah, it has bugs in it. It has glitches in it. I know that, but I've not seen nobody run into. And again, you have certain people that are gonna have stuff, but I never seen the mass breaking of bugs like most people did. And there was a video from Informer. Informer had developers for the western side of gaming, and I think one guy from Japan, and they were talking about Breath of the Wild, and they were in awe of how the coding for this game was. They were like, how the hell Nintendo put this open world with the physics? This is the best physics. Like, this is a game designer saying, Ken Levine, those guys, you know him for BioShock, like those guys was saying that they were stunned of Breath of the Wild. It's not no graphic intensive game. That's not nobody. It's not that, but that physics engine. Holy crap! I'm sorry. Even I was out. The physics engine is crazy, and I remember somebody was saying, well, they use art style, cell shaded, whatever. They don't have a draw distance. Are you kidding me? If you play, anybody who played Breath of the Wild, do this for me. Go to the tower, the furthest tower away from Death Mountain, which is basically in the Gerudo Desert. Go to that tower. If you did not mess with the divine beast, which is the salamander, if you look over Death Mountain, you still could see the salamander walking on Death Mountain. It's not no pre-animation. He's stopping, he's doing all this stuff, and you still see the fire glow. That's a draw distance for your ass. That far away, and you can see that. And we have technically games that photorealistically look pretty, and it can't get more than 50 feet. That's thousands of feet in game sense that you could see that detail. When I saw that, I was like, okay, this is the real friggin' deal. Holy shit.
Do you think that's going to be the standard for Zelda games going forward? Is off
No.
the Breath of the Wild? No?
No. I'm sad to say no. What, and you know what? It goes to your question you asked before. What holds Nintendo apart from all the third-party companies? And I except for one person who's a stubborn-headed person. I never would talk to him, but if I ever get to talk to him, I was like, dude, stop being a jerk. Yamamuchi made sure that anybody who made games, Shigeru Miyamoto, Anuma, Iwata, all those guys, that they had somebody shadowing them. Remember, Miyamoto made Mario. He's executive producer to look over Mario, and he's of course the head of software. Mm-hmm. But you have Kazumi, who did Odyssey. Yeah, I forgot his name. Who did Galaxy? Like, you had other people who's doing Mario games that people love now. Remember, he challenged Inuma to make a sequel to Ocarina of Time in 1 year, which was basically Zelda Gaiden, which of course turned out to be Majora's Mask. And after that, Inuma became the head of Zelda. They let people shadow. The only person who don't let shadow is freaking Sakurai. Sakurai. I'm like, dude, teach somebody to do Smash so you don't gotta kill yourself, man. Please, just teach them how to do it. Don't be a jerk. Just do.
What is that though?
No, he's a perfectionist. He's a super perfectionist. I'm like, come on, man. Just teach somebody else to do Smash. And stuff. There are people in house laboratories who know how to do Kirby just as good as Sakurai now, which is good. But I know that's your baby. Give it a little tender loving to somebody else, please. That's all I'm saying. Oh. He's the only person I've seen in Nintendo that doesn't let anybody shadow him, which is sad. But that's what they did, because again, you take away Igarashi. Mm-hmm. Nobody shadowed him. You can't make except for indie people, but there's nobody who Konami or whatever who made a good Castlevania other than him. You take away Kojima, sad but true, but nobody shadowed him, so nobody basically took up the mantle to do the Metal Gear style like who he is. Even though he's as eclectic and crazy as he is, there's no way of doing that. And most of the companies made their name off of Nintendo. I'm sorry, but Capcom made their name off of Nintendo. Konami made their name off of Nintendo. When the Genesis came in, then they separate. But here's something that was different. Back in the Sega and Sega and Super Nintendo era, each console had the sound music sounded different. And you know this, being that you and me almost the same age in the 30s. Well, you're gonna be 30, but I'm a little older than you. But back then, they know that each system was different. It wasn't about power. It was basically what this game could do. Let me make the game for this. That's why you had. That's why you had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time was on the Super Nintendo, but then you had Hyperstone on Sega.
Yeah,
that's why you had Cool Spot. Cool Spot played differently. There's a channel, and if anybody out there's a channel called Nintendo versus and Super Nintendo versus Genesis. Those guys they're corny as hell, but it is funny, corny funny. But they talk about the difference between Power Rangers and Super Nintendo, Power Rangers and Genesis. Like back then, they just wanted to make money, and at the time, game design was like, hey, as long as I get my game out there and have fun, and Genesis had that crunchy music, the crunchy sound check that certain things will pop and explode. You're like, oh man! But then Super Nintendo had that like if you play RPGs like Tales of Fantasia or Secret of Mana or what's another one? Chrono Trigger. The symphony music sounded great on a Super Nintendo, but the hip hop or techno crunchy music sounded way better on a Genesis.
Yuzo Koshiro, man, with Streets of Rage.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Exactly. Shooter Range or Vector Man or Rocket Knight Adventures. Those music. Oh my goodness, dude. Awesome. Awesome as hell. but my point is they took advantage of what those things did. They didn't say, well, we're gonna just put graphics on and whatever. No, this is unique. Let's do that. That's unique. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. The seventh generation was awesome. Not seventh generation. The generation between Sega, Super Nintendo, and Genesis. I love that. And I'll pop something here that for anybody who never heard, because a lot of people got this wrong. And you could go read this book, which is called Console Wars, that has this. I know from people really, but Console Wars has it also in there too. Basically in a couple last chapters about how Sony PlayStation became what it is, because everybody think, oh, Nintendo did Sony wrong, and it did, but Sony did them wrong too. It was a mutual disagreement. That's why that thing never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo backed out of the deal and went with Philips, which was kind of underhanded. They should have never did that, and that was messed up. And of course, you created a competitor. That's what they did, and I said that's messed up. But the only reason they did that because Sony wanted 90% of their profits of any game that's selling their system. Who the fuck would sign that deal?
Yeah, that
think of Mario 64, how big that game was and how much that sold. You tell me I designed that game, made that game revolutionary, and you get 90% of that shit? The frig? I would sign. Come on, dude. Nobody would have signed that deal. Nobody would. But instead of Nintendo being a big, the company itself, Yamaguchi being a big man and say, hey, okay, and Sony, no, we're going to do that. We go to Philips. No, they went behind their backs and did it wrong and didn't annul the contract, and it became a mess. And that's sad. But I can't argue about it because I bought a PlayStation when it came out. I enjoyed it. I bought a PlayStation 2, and I enjoyed it as well, too. So I like the games, whatever. Hell, my friend bought a Sega Saturn, and I enjoyed some games on there too. Like we had, of course, when it comes to arcade ports, the Sega Saturn was and the Dreamcast, which I still have my Dreamcast to this day. No comparison. Holy crap! Them Street Fighter games, Alpha. Back when we used to have arcades, and you had to go to arcades, and they were basically almost picture perfect. There was, man. Those were the good days. I'm sorry. You go in and put in quarters playing Street Fighter Alpha or Mega Man or Street Fighter vs. X-Men or Capcom Marvel vs. Capcom, and then buy the console and bring it home and play it on your TV, man.
Yep.
I mean, me and people our ages have seen a crazy. Okay, just like my grandmother who's 90 years old. Like when I talk to her and hear what she have seen from her age of from being born in the 1920s to now, she saw miraculous things. Come on from an age where she come from to say, wow, there's a metal thing that can fly in the air for millions of miles. Come on. At the beginning they were like, I'm not getting on that thing. I don't trust these. Nope. But we saw gaming. We basically jumped in when the gaming got reborn. We wasn't there at the beginning back in the 60s with the ColecoVision and all that other stuff. We wasn't there. But when the crash happened and then Nintendo came back in and the resurgence came back, we saw games go from 2-bit, 16-bit, 3D, HD, 3D space. Even back in the Super Nintendo Genesis days, where you do these crazy tricks with the Mode 7 and the blast processing, which that really was just a gimmick. That was really nothing, really, but they pushed it out there. But the Mode 7 really was. The Mode 7 really was, because you could see the games that does like Yoshi's Island and a couple of games that they took a part of it. But those games created something which I like that a lot of people said. Limitation creates creativity.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's one of the things I see with YouTubers and a lot of gamers talking about now. Oh man, this game can't win on the Switch, or this game can't win on this game because it's weak and all this stuff. Like, it can if you optimize it, but some of y'all don't want to optimize it. Like, I know, and I got this game, Modern Warfare Reflux on the Wii. It looks way horrible than on the 360. I know that. I could see that any day of the day. Like you were talking about what games play, whatever. But that nunchuck remote setup, I'll take that any day over a controller. I'm sorry. That's why I play mostly PC and PC and the remote. I literally modded my PC. Well, I modded it really, but I mod my PC to use the remote nunchuck to play. Like I got Doom, and I'm using the remote nunchuck to play Doom.
Really?
Yeah. That combination is just so fluent for me. I love it. Yeah. I love it. There's the accessory that I use it for is on my channel. I show people where that I bought it and what I use. But yeah, that's that. that nunchuck remote, like playing any shooting game. I was not a big shooter, but I got into Modern Warfare Reflux. I got, of course, Modern Warfare 3, of course, for the Wii, and then the Conduits 1 and 2, Metroid Prime 3. Metroid Prime 3, Corruptions. There's so many other. I got a lot of other shooter games, of course. 007, the remake, GoldenEye. Like
that was great.
I like the I like to point when I need to shoot. It's just me. Sorry, I am not. I will concede that I am not fast with dual sticks. Never has been. Never going to be, because I'm not practicing it. I don't have the hand-eye coordination to do that. But give me a remote nunchuck or mouse and keyboard, and I can point where I want to shoot. That's why I like it. That's what it is. But like I said, back then the industry was making 7th generation coming up good, making money. It was good. 7th generation, the numbers got too expansive. We had big publishers like THQ and Acclaim and Midway. All those guys went away.
Yeah. And
then you have studios that just got shut down left and right because a lot of people didn't buy. They put a lot of money into these games to get it to HD, which was 720 at the time, 720p. And people didn't buy them because Okami was a financial flop on the PlayStation 2. It was a good game,
yeah,
but not much people buy it, which is sad.
It's your knowledge though.
Is it same thing with the Sunset Overdrive? It's a good game, but a lot of the Xbox guys did not buy it, which was a phenomenal game. It was just different. It was different. And I like that. And of course, you love the trailers. You know, the trailers made it fun as hell. Say that, oh, you're gonna just stay behind a crate? Forget that. And he coming down with his hook and he's sliding and he's shooting. Like those games were, like I said, they just did it. Same thing with you talk about RPGs. There was 2 RPGs that I felt hurt for on the Xbox. And I played it on an Xbox. My point is I played it and I enjoyed it, but it hurt because nobody bought it. One of them was Blue Dragon, that series. Mm-hmm. That got hurt because not a lot of people bought that game for that, which was sad. And of course, I'm a big Tales fan. I love Tales game. And Tales of Valencia.
Oh my god, man!
No, Vesperia. So Tales of Vesperia.
God, I love that game.
I love that game. Tales of Vesperia is a good game, a good RPG, one of the good Tales games. It's up there with me. Tales Symphony is my #1 game, then Tales of Vesperia, then Tales Fantasia. Like, that's my top 3. But it's like, people didn't buy it. And when that keep on happening, you know what's going to happen. Studios are going to get shut down. Sad, but true.
It's God. Man, now I want to go back and play Vesperia because I love that game, man. I was so...
Yuri,
Flynn, like I'm mad we didn't even get the update. Like, why don't they bring us the one that came on the PS3 with the additional content? Like, oh man, God, God, I love that game. Oh, I need to play it.
Oh, there's some great games out there, man, and sadly they don't sell. That's the sad part.
Nier, remember that? It did not sell that well.
Yeah. And again, I don't like, and then some of these partners is just ridiculous. Like Tales of Grace, it was on the Wii in Japan. They brought it to the PlayStation 3, but they didn't bring it to the Wii in America. I'm like, but it started on that. Nuni Kuni started on a 3DS, and they came over here. They never put it back on the 3DS or a Nintendo console. I'm like, but it started on there and it sold. So what's going on, Namco Bandai? That's kind of messed up. Wait, I'm not saying not that the game don't do good on the PlayStation and don't bring it to the other consoles. I'm just saying it's kind of messed up that I started the game here, it sold, I ported it, but I didn't give it back. I didn't get the sequel to where it started.
I didn't know it started on the 3DS.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Again, and Tales of Grace was on the Wii, came to America, never was on the Wii in America. I was like, that's weird. Why? That's just messed up. And trust me, my biggest gripe in it, like I said, I'm a Nintendo fan. I'm a gamer and I am a Nintendo fan, so I'm not gonna argue that point. Oh, like I said, you come to my channel, you get a lot of Nintendo stuff more than anything else. But I never bash Xbox or PlayStation because I like what people you play the games that you have and enjoy. But I do have one sector of gaming from Nintendo I hate, and those are the Metroid fans. I hate those fuckers. I really do. I hate these fake ass Metroid fans. I don't like them. I don't like them. They talk all this shit and they do not back up their talk with the money they talk. They don't. I hate them. You're looking at a guy, you're talking to a guy that have and you could go to my channel and see this. I have one of the most unique I don't have a Metroid poster. I don't have a bunch of Metroid shirts. I'm a Metroid fan, but it's my favorite franchise, okay? But I don't go crazy and have all the shirts and a Samus plushie doll and all this other crap all over the place. I don't have that in my house. But my gaming library is one of the uniquest Metroid gaming library. I have every game. I've played every game except for Federation Force because I need a second. I'm not a multiplayer, like I said. I'm not 100% in that game. That's the only game I have not 100% in. Like right now,
I haven't played it. I have it, and I don't have anyone to play with.
No, I go play single player, no problem. I beat the game. You have to have a bunch of people to get all the scoring time and the medals and all that stuff. And that's what I say. I am not 100% in that.
Is it as bad as people say it is?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It don't have Samus in there. I got you, but it's still is a very comp. Just think of it like basically what it is like Warhammer, not Warhammer. What it is, Warhammer back in the Xbox days, is a mech game, like mech battle stations and stuff like that. Just think of it like that. Okay. Like you're in a mech, you could do stuff. You could still do stuff like Samus does, strafe, charge shot, all this stuff. You can, but you're just moving slower because you're in a robot. That's what it is. You're a Federation, you're a Federation soldier, and you're in this mech in a robot. You playing it, but it's not as bad as the bosses are still difficult. The game is still cohesive. I never run into any glitches or nothing. It's still good. The game that I have another problem, but like I said, I never 100% of that. But I have every game, played every game. I have the game that people hate the most. I bought 2 of those versions because I'm just that spiteful. I got Other M and the Japanese version of Other M. The reason I got the Other M Japanese version because Tensei Tanabe, he signed it for me.
Whoa.
I have Metroid Prime, Metroid Other M, and a soundtrack that Tensei Tanabe signed for me. And he also signed something that's very important. In 2002, I made a music beat, which I'm not gonna say because it don't give out who I is, and I'm trying to be from them, but I did a beat. I went to Nintendo, asked him and Kenji Yamato. Mm-hmm. Can I use this Metroid song to make a kind of like a rap beat? It really wasn't a rap, but it was a reggae beat. Mm-hmm. They signed, and of course they signed it. So I still have that. I literally have that paper frame, dude. The copyrights to that song. I got it on my wall. And here's the thing: I did the beat. I gave it to a certain artist. He made it popular, and then he did a remix with Alicia Keys, and that's as far as I go. He made a remix with Alicia Keys, and it became more popular. And that was my first beat that I made $1 million on. And I was like,
it's from Metroid.
Yeah, Metroid Prime. And I was like, hell, I'm that's awesome. Thank you for doing this. So I'm super grateful for them. But like I said, I have all the games. I read the story. I read the manga. I love Metroid. It's something different. It's so unique. I like it. Out of the Prime series 1, 2, and 3, I love 2 more than anything because 2 keep you on your toes. I love Super Metroid. Right now, when people was making a big argument about, they're locking DLC behind the amiibo for Metroid Return of Samus. I'm like, okay. Let me see what they lock behind the Metroid. Oh, Fusion Mode. Okay. How many of you people gonna pay Fusion Mode? Oh, wait a minute. Not a lot of y'all bought the game. So I know y'all ain't gonna play the Fusion Mode. No, because they had 2 modes. They had regular mode, hard mode, and fusion mode, which is excruciatingly hard.
Yeah,
I'm at the last boss right now. I'm trying to 100% on fusion mode right now, and it's not easy. It's difficult. But I'm at the last boss doing that. But yeah, it's that. But again, remember, all the fans, Nintendo, give us a Metroid game we like, it will whatever. And they boycotted most of the game. They went on change.org to which is it? That site needs to shut down. Oh, look, the president Obama is not in office no more. That site needs to shut down. He's the one who set that site up. He's not in office no more. Shut it down. Yeah. Change.org was a way that Obama could get people to, if he reached to 1 million, the president would address it. So that's the end. That's, again, the politics side of it is really crazy. But so if he gets 1 million, the president of the United States would do it. So okay, well, now Obama's not in office no more. So can we get rid of that site? Because some of the petitions on the most idiotic and stupidest things when it comes to gaming, even worse for real life. I'm like, can we just get rid of that? Just get rid of it. Oh, we want to stop Metroid Federation of Force because we don't like it, Nintendo. Okay, they always spend the money on it. Why are you doing it? We don't want Color Splash. They went in there. They don't want Color Splash. They didn't want Metroid. They did what other game they said they petitioned that they didn't want. Oh yeah, they wanted Zelda to have. They wanted a female Link for Breath of the Wild.
Oh my God, freaking feminists!
I know. As I said, we could say stuff for other stuff, but yeah, it's just it's just. I was like, you got it, whatever. So, Metroid Prime 4 when it comes out, am I gonna get it? Yes. I am not. With all the things that these so-called Metroid fans talk about, that game better sell 5 million. All the people who's coming and saying, "Oh, this is what we wanted." Okay, sell 5 million because in the time that it needs to make the money back and is irrelevant to gaming, it's basically with a year. Metroid Prime, the original one, sold 3 million. 2 in the same amount of time, 2 million. Corruptions, 1 million in the same time space. It went down. As much people talk about these games, it went down. So y'all could say all you want to say, but it went down. Y'all didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Sorry. You guys wanted with Star Fox Zero. That's another video I have a content with. People was arguing. We want Star Fox back. Okay. We want it to be like 64. Okay. We want it to be co-develop with Platinum. Okay. We want to use the Wii U tablet.
Oh okay. Yeah, you did a video on that. I remember.
Yeah. You wanted all of that. Yo, because people were saying it. I have the video. I could go and look at the videos of people saying that. You want it. Okay. The one thing they couldn't get was the online. And I said the video I said because I went to Platinum when I was there, and that was the same thing too. I remember playing Star Fox 64. You have to do something different. You have to make it difficult because Star Fox 64 is so arcade or Star Fox game. All you gotta do is press a button to do the moves, or a combination button to do the moves. It's not fun because everybody's gonna do somersault until you get to the end of the map. You turn, get a lucky shot, somersault. That's not fun. Now, if you do something like there's a game if you want to check out, there's a game called Air Fighters Assault. There's many versions of it, but the one at 64 I like the most. Mm-hmm. If they do Star Fox like that, it's still arcade. It's realistic in a way because it has real planes. But of course, the weapons are not realistic. No freaking way F-15 has a big ass laser. but to get behind the person, you had to like Ace Combat. Like Ace Combat from Namco Bandai, you had to fight to get behind a person to take him down. It wasn't a simple trick, whatever. If they did that, I have no problem putting Star Fox in that light. But just to make it more, because remember when Star Fox Command came out, you had it. People didn't went to, and they had it that way. It was pushed to be multiplayer. People didn't go towards it. The online died off because it was boring. But again, they asked for all that stuff, and they also asked that Nintendo promote it because they said, "Oh, the Wii U is not promoting so well." Nintendo went out and get Jim Henson puppets. They made an anime short about it. They promoted the shit out of that game. Y'all didn't pick it up. They didn't pick up. Jim Sterling said, "Oh, because of the motion controls. This is not motion controls." I'm like, huh? Motion controls? My 6-year-old niece at the time, when I let her play it, she played that game with no problem, and she beat the game. Why the hell old men can't? Well, it's so hard to remember to replace some things now.
That and I've been playing it a lot recently because I recently picked it up from GameStop, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I'm over here like, what all this controversy? I'm like, what was it for?
Because remember Jim Sterling, Richard Review, a lot of the big YouTubers, they were saying when the Switch came out, when the Switch got revealed that they were using the Joy-Cons, they were saying, oh, no motion control. Nintendo, this shit's going to sell. And it's not going to be powerful as the 3 PlayStation, whatever. Here's a secret to you. I have checked out both dev kits. The Switch is no less powerful than the Wii U. And the Wii U is way optimized better for memory, for memory allocation than the Switch. So you could do way more better stuff with the Wii U than the Switch. But nobody's going to know that. And also, now the Switch is selling like crazy. Everybody's like, oh, this whatever and whatever, and that's what I was saying. I gotta hit you with it, like I said with Richard Review Tech. He had me laughing. That's why I did a video on him a while ago back. Who had me laughing because he went against Keemstar, and I was like, okay, Rich, let me explain. Let me get this straight. Either you're a horrible liar or you can't use money well. You told Keemstar you made 10,000. Remember, Rich has 6,600K subscribers. He was saying to Keemstar, I make $10,000 a month. Okay, you make $10,000 a month, and you live in your girlfriend, not your girlfriend, your fiance's basement, huh? I don't make $10,000 a month, but I live in a very palatial house, and I'm like, is that you lying, or you just shitty with money? And I'm going with you were lying and shitty with money. Go with both. I'm going with both. And he is the most, him is one of the flip-floppingest people I have ever, I've done videos on him, and he is ridiculous. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Stop with the clickbaiting and stop all this stuff. You know what next is just
Dreamcast guy. I'm every time Dreamcast guy puts up a video saying it's a GameStop rant, he'll never shop there. If you go through his videos, how many times is this guy gonna say he's not gonna shop at GameStop?
Oh my god, dude! When you put that in the comment, I went back and looked at his videos, and I was like, damn, Malik is right. He's right. Holy crap! I would not buy this game. I went to get a Vita, and I quit. I'm like, dude. You're arguing about GameStop. You don't have to shop there. There's a Best Buy. There's Walmart. There is Amazon. You could go other places. Hell, Amazon and Walmart sells used games. Why are you arguing that? But hey, it is what it is, man. And then you got these gamers now, which is sad. I say this is literally sad because the market, I have a video about, and I'm going to redo the video. I will redo the video because it needs to be. I have a video about, an analysis was talking about how the gaming market is making money, but it's making fake money, if you want to say. All the majority of people's money is coming from DLC and season pass and microtransactions.
Yeah.
3 years ago, EA made close to $1 billion in straight microtransactions. Not game sales, not just straight microtransactions. And of course, they're selling you money for you pay real money to buy gas in the USB. I'm paying real money for virtual gas. You out of your freaking mind. But gamers go for it. Need for Speed Payback. Oh, I'm gonna pay money for colored smoke. What? Colored smoke, tire smoke. What is wrong with you people? And the thing that's sad about it, and I could look at any YouTuber video. Look, 2013, everybody was angry, and I give Xbox this. They tell the truth. I give them that at least they told you the truth. They told you. I'll be frank right here. They weren't gonna stick dick up your ass, but at least they were frank to say, "Hey, we're gonna stick your dick up your ass." PlayStation now, they played it coy when Down Factory came out and said, well, if you want to play, for those who don't have internet, whatever, get an Xbox 360. That's what he told Jeff Keighley when Jeff Keighley asked the question. Everybody would say, we don't want an online game only. We don't want always online game only. We don't want DRMs. But we don't want microtransactions. That's what everybody was. You go back to go to any video on YouTube and E3, with the videos after E3, you see all the big YouTubers talk about this is going to destroy a game, but we don't want none of this stuff. We're not going to buy your games. When Don Matrick did what he did, PlayStation said, oh shit, they literally rewrite their E3 after they saw what Xbox did. And say, oh yeah, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that, and they whatever. But slowly, we're not going to do DRMs. Okay. Ain't the crew always online? Ain't a couple games on PlayStation is always online only?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't they? And of course they got microtransactions, and they have like they eased. See again, Xbox said we're gonna fuck you. We're gonna put a dick in your ass. PlayStation's like, oh, we don't whatever, but they secretly eased the dick in, and that's the difference. That was the difference. Because right now I'm like, look, you enjoy the games that you enjoy, Malik. I have nothing against you or anybody who does that, but still, I cannot play always online game. I just cannot. I like to come home and just plug and play. I'm into the point right now because there's a lot of Nintendo fans saying about it needs Netflix, it needs this, it needs that. I remember the day when I just took a cartridge or disc, put it in the console. The symbol came up: PlayStation, Dreamcast, or Super Nintendo Genesis, and the publisher, game. Thank you.
That's so true.
Now we gotta go and then go over here, then go over there, and then press this game and install a game. I ain't doing that bullshit. Installing a fucking game. I gotta do all this stuff now. Sometimes you buy games and you can't even play it the same day you got it, even though you got good internet, because you gotta install a game.
Yeah.
You guys good with that? You have that, and as long as you enjoy the game, that's good. Me, I have never installed a game on a console. Like, I mean, of course, Breath of the Wild had to install, but that was nothing. But my point was, I'm not installing 20, 60, 30, 40, 56 gigs just to play the game. I'm not doing that. I remember when Tomb Raider, the game after the rebirth. Sorry, the game. What's the one that came out after the
Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one after
the reboot, right?
Reboot, yeah. And a demo on the Xbox 360 on the Xbox One. The demo, which was basically 10 minutes demo, was 20 gigs. I'm like, what the frick? 20 gigs for a 10-minute demo? What is going on in the gaming world? Yeah, that's why you see games like Xenoblade Chronicles X or look, one thing I give Nintendo, their compression is top notch. I'm sorry. When you got a game like Xenoblade Chronicles X and Breath of the Wild and all that stuff, they're under 20 gigs.
And there's no loading. It's open world. That blows my mind. Xenoblade Chronicles X, as much as people shit on it, you could explore that entire world without going to a loading screen unless you're
fast traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the same thing with Breath of the Wild. You can go from one side of Breath of the Wild to the other side without it. You can walk into buildings, no loading. Any building you want to walk into, no loading. It just opens up. You walk in, you walk towards the door. Only unless you're teleporting or is a story-based, something that's story-driven, that's when the loading kicks in. That's why at the beginning is about a 2 hour, 2 hour. My mistake, sorry. A 2 to 3 minute loading when is when you teleport, because you got to load the whole world. Mm-hmm. And you could go, as you just said, you could play the game for hours without even not one loading, without one loading screen. You could do that.
That game was phenomenal. And a lot of people I've noticed, there are two YouTubers who are supposed to have been on my podcast recently, but they've been bailing out. But
okay,
they love Xenoblade Chronicles 1, they love Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and they hate Xenoblade Chronicles X because they're like, oh, there's no story. I'm like, no, it's a story. But Tetsuya Takahashi said that he wanted to make an open world game.
Yeah.
and he did exactly that.
I played Xenoblade 1, 2, and I'm basically literally, I'm not even gonna lie to you, literally before you restarted the podcast, I got 2 in my Switch right now playing on my screen. So I'm playing Xenoblade 2. But I'll be honest, I like X because it's open, like you said, it's open. I could make my own story.
Yeah.
Xenoblade 1 and 2 has their story. They have their tropes, which is sometimes, and again, and that's me being again in our age limit, that I've seen so much game stories. Like right now, there's not many movies or stories that surprise me no more.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the tropes coming a mile away. And I'm like, like, not a spoiler, but like Van Damme's death. I'm like, that could have been, as Mithra said, that could have been avoided.
See, and then too, like you could have noted, a lot of people, I tell them, like you could have picked up on that if you did the the core crystal where you can activate the cores.
Yeah.
And he didn't show up there. I was like, that was kind of a giveaway.
Yeah, no, that is true. But the way that he died, it was just like, I hate that trope. Like, oh, don't worry, I'm getting my ass whooped. I'm gonna go and still fight you. Dude, get the fuck out of here. He literally, the guy took. It's like, okay, this is the best way I can explain it. You had a gun, and the guy had a sword. You shoot it. The guy beats you with the sword, even though you had a gun. Now you're out of ammo because that's when Enoch's cut off the ether.
Yeah.
Now you're out of ammo, and you still say you're gonna fight him. Run. Get away. But nope, I can still do it. Blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, I was like, oh my goodness. I said that character didn't need to die like that, but hey, it's a trope. That's what I do it. I was like, whatever. But again, me and you are jaded because we're old. We've seen so much. Like I've seen so much movies now that when I see coming, like I'll legitimately, I watched Dragon Ball Super yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, don't tell me that they're gonna do that stupid trope they used with Goku, which it didn't. It surprised me. I was like, oh, what son of a gun? Thank you, Toyama. You're smart,
right? Move. Right?
I did not see that coming. The ending, I did not see that coming. I was like, okay, good. And trust me, a lot of YouTubers' ideas is super got thrown out the fucking window.
It did too. I was like,
I've seen so many people like, oh, this is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen, and this to do with Frieza, and this is this, and then so when that happened, I was like, wow. Didn't I see it? Because I swear before the thing, I don't want to spoil for anybody because it just came out, but I swear the end where I saw the camera pan back and you see Goku there, I was like, yeah, I guarantee you somebody's gonna come and do something, and it didn't happen. And then when Goku was standing, so his usual self of like, picture. It's hard to say without spoiling. Just picture the Super Saiyan God movie.
Yeah.
Just think of that. When Goku being so cocky and Frieza did what Frieza did. Because Barris shouted out, finish him off now. He was like, and Goku was still standing there. I'm like, don't do it. Don't. But again, they checked the ending was surprising. And I was like, holy crap. But again, because I watch Dragon Ball Z so much, I see the tropes coming.
Yeah.
I watch so much anime so much now, I see too much tropes coming. And it's sad. That's what it is. So, like movies right now, like I said, I saw your review of Black Panther. I agree with you with that thing. That thing is a good movie, but it ain't the greatest thing I ever seen in my life. People need to stop that crap.
I swear, when dude became king, it just went. The logic of the movie just went out the window. I'm like, why?
Well, you know what? You could touch on this real quick, like you said. Here's the funny part. All this black pride, and I'm a black person too, as like I said, from the Caribbean. For anybody, like I said, when people say, "Oh, this black stuff," blah blah blah, I'm like, it still took a white man to save y'all. What the? What? Are you kidding me? And that did make no logical sense. Oh, I ain't never flown this craft before, but I could outmaneuver people who've flown this for years. What the frig? There's no way a guy who never there's no way a guy who fly Airbus is gonna outmaneuver a guy who flew a Boeing. It ain't happening. He's gonna take a while to do that, even though if he has the skill. But you're not doing that. And I was like, this is what the. Okay, all right. And the CGI was not that good.
It really wasn't.
Oh my goodness. I mean, because we played too much video games, but that fighting on the train and stuff is like, oh, look, where you say you spend this much money on? Where did it go? It must have went into the costumes or something, because it sure did not went into the CGI. Holy crap, that was cheesy. I felt I was back in 2000.
It was horrible. Them rhinos, though.
Oh yes, of course. Oh yeah, I forgot about the rhinos. Holy crap!
Oh man!
Look, people, it's a good game. It's a good movie. Go watch it, but it's not the phenomenon that people's talking about.
We're not doing Wakanda forever.
And you know the sad part. I could give you the politics right here, which is crazy. You know what's sad about it? If every black person spent all the money we spend in America, put our money together, we'll become the 5th largest nation with money. If we did that,
and this is true, people. This is very true.
So we could have our own Wakanda if we did that. But we spend, $30 million on fancy cars and $10 billion on hair weave and $15 billion on Jordans. With the frig, you're spending on shoes, but still bitch for, hey, but we don't got but we need help, man. I can't buy food. Don't fucking buy the stuff you need to get food. Food comes first.
We're oppressed. The fuck?
That's why going back to game, when people was like, look, I'll say this. I stand in one line in my life for a game. One time only. I stand in line to buy me the original Wii. My friend had a friend who worked at GameStop. And I had just started my architect job, which was weird itself. Because I could have lost my job, but I was luck. And he told me, hey, yo, Liger, my friend said the reservation, you got to go to the store and get it. I drove almost 30 minutes away to go to a damn GameStop, stand in line to get my reservation for the Wii, and then went back to work. And lucky for me, my boss was like, I called the office and I didn't hear. I was in the bathroom. Sorry, I had to use the bathroom. I had some food last night. Sorry. So, and I've been working there for 15 years now. So yeah. But my point was, people were telling me, "Are you gonna go pick up? Are you gonna get a Wii? Are you gonna get a Wii U? I'm like, dude, I'm not standing in no line for no games. The only 3 things I'll ever stand in line for, sadly, that I've done for and think, but food, medicine, water, and that's it. I ain't standing in line for nothing else. Even though I had to do that in real life, but nothing else.
Oh man!
And like I gotta say, I'm gonna try. There's another video. Like I said, the probably about there's a video I gotta put on my Endure channel, because I did do this. Like at the radio show I have on Real Life, we raise. Like I said, I'm well do off. I'm stable. Thank God that I am. Mm-hmm. But when a hurricane happened in the Caribbean, I raised about $1 million US to go down there and help people. And I took my own money and still went down there and give people flashlights and all kind of stuff and help people remove stuff. And I mean, I got pictures of it, of stuff like that. Like, I take my blessings and help as best as I can other people. So when I see these celebrities talking about all this stupid stuff about the gun rights and the politics and all this dumb crap, they talk like, hey, Jimmy Kimmel, shut the frig up. If you're rich and you talk about Obamacare, you don't have to pay what we pay.
Exactly.
You don't. So you're not really talking for us. As much money as you got, why don't you just set up, you get $40 million a year for doing your show. Take about $2-3 million and put it aside and make a charity to give people who don't have insurance. You change their lives. You're gonna do a lot, but you'll do something. But don't talk down to people. Yeah, well, this is what is wrong with the society. You know what? You're not gonna be bored by those rules. Oh, we need to get rid of guns. You got armed guards. I'm sorry. You got armed guards protecting you. You live in a house with high fences and security cameras. Most of the people don't. And again, I'm sorry when I said this truthfully. Nobody after I tell people this on my radio show, and I tell people when big news happen, do not listen to news for the first 48 minutes. It's crap. Everybody's trying to get stuff out first. That's the same thing with gaming. And, we leaked this game, and then Watch Dogs was such a great game, blah blah blah. Then Watch Dogs came out, they're like, that's not what I saw when I saw it in the videos. This is a big graphical down drop. And then you didn't do, and Watch Dogs didn't do none of the stuff that they showed up for the trailer, sliding over cars, shooting, and no, that didn't happen. And I thought that you could have really controlled everything with your phone. Not that much as I thought in the first 4 trailers. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? Like, dang it, man. These games again, like I said, that's what's the Anthem. It's not going to be what people think it's going to be. Sad to say. If they put it out, here's the thing. I'm a pessimist slash realist. I have a video called on my channel called The Hype. Mm-hmm. I don't get hyped for games. The last game I got super hyped for, I am not hyped for. The last game I was super not hyped for, it shocked me. Being a Metroid fan, when I saw Metroid Prime, and I showed video pictures because back then we had magazines. We didn't have the internet as it is now.
Yeah.
But back then, when I saw the EGMs and all the Game Pro and the screenshots of Metroid Prime back then, I was like, what are you guys doing, Nintendo? This is an ugly looking thing. And they're like, holy, what are you doing to Metroid? And I literally told my grandma that year, I said, because I was basically kind of faulting off my scholarship. So I had to get my grades straight. I told my grandma, if this game ain't good, I'll stop playing video games. And I'm happy I didn't. I'm happy that Nintendo told me differently, because I got the game. Technically speaking, I got Fusion and Metroid Prime at the same time. Mm-hmm. I played Fusion first because I know what that is all about. But Prime was like, this is not good. And then I put in Prime, played it, and I was like, holy shit, this is a good game. And from then on, I never get hyped for games no more. Like right now, everybody's super fucked out of their freaking minds about Smash Brothers. Is it a port? It's not a port. Who's it going to be in there? All this stuff. How about you guys wait until the fucking game comes out? Okay?
Exactly.
Just wait.
Exactly.
Just wait. I lean more towards that it's a port than in a real game, because it doesn't have the same cycle as the last 2 games. That's it. And also, it's going to be an asset flip with new stuff. It's going to be like a Mario Kart Deluxe or Pokemon Deluxe or something like that. Yeah. I think that's what it is. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I'm not denying it. If I'm wrong, I have a video series on my channel called Refresh. If I'm wrong about stuff, unlike other YouTubers, I'll say I'm wrong, and I would do a video dedicating that I was wrong. I know that ego. I know these YouTubers, their egos, boy. Woo.
God, man, their egos are bigger than the state of Texas.
They cannot relent that they're wrong. As I said, Rich Review and all those guys. If you're wrong, just no. But yeah, it's just that, man. Smash Brothers is. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to. Like I said, I'm gonna get Kirby. A lot of people are saying it's a good game, so I'm gonna get Kirby.
Dude, my wife is loving Kirby.
For real, that's good.
She's loving that game.
That's good. I want to get Kirby. Of course, like you said, Amazing Lucas, I'm hoping that Insomniac. I think Insomniac is going to do the job. I can't wait to play the new Spider-Man on PlayStation. That looks intriguing. I want to play that. I can't wait for that. So I got that. I mean, there are a lot of games that's coming out that I'm going to be happy for this year. But there's a lot of games last year I didn't buy, because half of my gaming library on the Switch is basically indie games. There's some awesome indie games on the damn Switch.
Yeah. Tons of them.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of them are better than these AAA games that are coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and like I said, the game that you recommended, I've enjoyed it fully. I'm a beat 'em up kind of. I'm an old school game, like you said. So I love the street. I mean, man, that's when you had good competition. You had the Street of Rage and you had the Final Fight. Yeah. And I got all 6 games. Yep. Street of Rage 1 and Street of Rage 1 and Final Fight 1. That's a tough one. I give it to Street of Rage because of the police cars. That was just weird. Street of Rage 2, Final Fight 2, Street of Rage 2 is way better.
Yeah.
Street of Rage 2 is way better. But for me, Final Fight 3 is better than Street of Rage 3. Because they do those super combos. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, I fully agree with you on that. I don't know if you know this, like when Arc Systems Works, when they brought out Double Dragon 4, there were so many people that were upset about it. And, you know, I've seen a lot of shitty reviews, and I'm over here like, as someone who grew up in the NES era playing Double Dragon 1, 2, and 3, I'm like, basically they took the best one of the 3, which was 2, and they improved everything, brought back the original team that created Double Dragon. And I thought Double Dragon 4 was an amazing game, and I'm seeing all these shitty reviews, and they're like, well, it should have been like Double Dragon Advance. It should have been like this. I'm like, did you guys not even play the original trilogy? I'm like, and it's like, I called out like 8-Bit Eric and a lot of other YouTubers for that. I'm like, you guys, when did y'all start playing video games? The 360 era? Because it seems like a lot of y'all
feels like it.
Yeah.
Look, like I said, I'm a fan of beat 'em ups. I love hack and slash, and I love beat 'em ups. And I can tell you right now, one of the games I'm playing right now that I love is Fire Emblem Warriors, of course. I love in that game. But here's another one that surprised the hell out of me: Phantom Breaker Overdrive.
Oh yeah.
It's a Chubby style beat 'em up, but to have not only to have a light attack and a heavy attack, to have a medium attack, and then you could do the button combinations for that. I was like, holy crap! this is where if anybody's do the beat 'em up game, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I'm gonna try to do a video where I also do game idea videos. I did one with Sonic. I did one with Zelda and Metroid. I need to do one with Capcom. Forget Marvel vs. Capcom. Fuck that bullshit. Get it out of the way. Because it didn't sell. And I know it wasn't gonna sell. So get it out of the way. You guys have exclusive IPs. Why don't you do Marvel Capcom X? I know they got a game Marvel X already, but do Capcom X. Get Final Fight characters, get Street Fighter characters, get Power Stone characters, get Darkstalker characters. All those characters are underneath your umbrella. Do a fighting game with that.
Yeah.
Holy crap. You ain't got to worry about paying nobody, no royalties or nothing. All those IPs you own. See Morgan fighting. All these characters already fight each other. Hagar's already in Marvel vs. Capcom. So you have Mega Man fighting Hagar and Morgan fighting I forget his name, from the guy who basically the Goku's ripoff in Power Stone. I forgot his name.
Yeah,
I forgot his name. Wang Chong or something like that, but you know what I'm talking about. Like or basically you have all these fight. Oh hell, don't forget Rival Schools. I mean, you guys have so many characters that's fighting. Just combine that and make your own fighting game. Forget about licensing, because that's what the problem was. That's where you thought people were so stupid. When you said, I had to do that video where they said, well, people don't know who the X-Men is. What? They don't know who the X-Men is? That's the reason why the X-Men is not in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? Come on, man. You could have done a better lie than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have just told the truth. Fox owns X-Men. We can't get the rights. Done. But to lie like that, it's not needed. And the PR, next thing that's bad with gaming, like you talk about the gaming industry, the PR. PR is horrible in gaming. You got Project Cars who lied to hell to get the game on the Wii U. Then when the Project Cars could come out, they said, we're gonna get this game to get 12K. There's not even a freaking 8K monitor out there. What the frick are you talking about 12K, dude? Why are you saying that? It's not even Capcom with their bad PR with stuff. And look, I enjoy Resident Evil. I think Resident Evil 7 should have been a spin-off and just call it something different, not a mainline franchise. But that's me. I understand that. I enjoyed it, but I can't play it again because it's so similar. It's nothing changed about it. And the jump basically he goes on jump scares, and after the first time, I'm not scared anymore. It's a good game. It's a good game, but it's so lenient. It's super lenient. It's like, well, I know you're gonna do this. I know you're gonna chop the opposite's head off. Oh wow, yeah. Just
it should have been a Gun Survivor game, like the other Gun Survivor spinoffs that went first person mode only.
It should have, but I got a problem being in that you do that. And it's not a Resident Evil game when you getting your hand cut off and you go sort. It was weird. It was just weird. Okay, it was just weird. And trust me, I love the Gun Survivor, like you just said. I love Chronicles and Dark Side. And anybody who's a Resident Evil fan, I'm telling you, if you want to learn the lore, get Chronicles, Dark Side, and Resident Evil 4. If you play all of the content, you will be caught up on the whole lore of Resident Evil because Chronicles went back to 0.
Yeah,
with the train and everything. So it goes from 0 all the way to 4. Because at 4, you're like, who the hell is where the Krauser came from? And Darksiders said it, showed you where Krauser came from.
Yep.
So it's like I said, right now the industry. Sad to say, the industry in 2017. You can call me a Nintendo fanboy. Fanboy don't hurt my feelings because words don't never hurt my feelings. I come from the era of Sticks and Stones and the wolf we grew up with. But now people hurt over words. Oh, you're a fanboy. Ooh, thank you. Oh, that's an insult. Okay, I love this console, so okay. I love this game. Okay, I'm a Metro fanboy. Who you supposed to be hurting again? But the industry was going downhill, and I got the video on the channel. It was going downhill, and the Switch came out, and because the sales of everything, because again, the industry would have had a problem because a lot of games was broken last year, from Star Wars, again, Need for Speed, Mass Effect Andromeda. I mean, these were big names. Shadow of Mordor, when they were doing the microtransaction for a single player game, and people was like, "What the hell?" Like, people were getting upset, legitimately upset. And a lot of people didn't buy some of these games, and it was going downhill. But again, the buzz came out, Switch came out, people love the games for whatever it is, and it keeps on moving. And I can tell you this right now, like, I have a video. You talk about Arm Chair Analysts. I literally have a video. I could show you every video of what I said. I said when back in 2015, when people were saying, "Oh man, we don't want ports and stuff like that." Oh, I mean, when Nintendo fans were cracking joke about the YouTubers, I should say, cracking jokes about, "Oh, PlayStation, all they got is ports, and Xbox, all they got." I'm like, guys, calm it down, because I could see Nintendo doing this for the next console. It's gonna make money. That's what they're gonna do, and people say that, and then you have. Before the NX happened, some people asked me a question. You believe the NX is gonna be a hybrid console? Do you think it's gonna come out in March? I said, okay. I said, you know what? I don't believe it. And I'll be honest. I said at first I didn't believe it, but I said if this console came out in March, I'm gonna tell you right now how the sales is gonna go. And my sales figures matched up more perfect than any of the YouTubers you just said. Within a million, I said Nintendo's gonna come out, gonna sell about 2 million off the bat in March. Then it's going to slow down a little bit because they wanted to test the market, and then so it's going to be about 6 million, which was 7 million by August, and then by the end they're going to ramp it back up because of the holidays. They're going to do a big game like a Mario game, and I was right about that too, Mario Odyssey. I didn't know they was going to do it. I thought they were going to do it at the beginning, but I just said they're going to do a Mario game and they're going to push it, and then it's going to be about 10 million, 8 to 10 million by the end of the year, and it sold 10 million in November. I was like, and you got people who's like, how the hell you know? I'm like, dude, it's a pattern. I see what was going to happen. I'm not making no money off of this. I just told you what I know, and recognize the patterns.
Yep,
that's all it was. I have a video that said what the PlayStation Pro was going to be before the PlayStation Pro came out, and I remember one of the gamers. He's like, his name is Game Idea Guy. He's like, the frig? How the hell you did that one? I'm like, I guarantee you that's going to happen, and I guarantee you that Sony's going to combine. Again, I work for Sony too, in a way, as a contractor. Sony's going to combine the Pro, the Slim, and the original PlayStation to push their numbers to thing and came that year, that's what it did.
Yep.
I was like, y'all, it's so simple to predict these things from my perspective. I'm not saying nobody else had made good predictions either, but people, I mean, the game is good. There's some great games out there on all systems. I didn't like what happened with, like, right now, Sea of Thieves, and there's Clean Prince Gaming, the guy he's a video talking about the Sea of Thieves gonna be a great game. I hope it is. I really do hope. But the way he talked about it, I don't think that's what a game you're looking for. But okay, I hope I'm wrong.
So, since you brought up Clean Prince, there's a question in the chat from Liquid Metal. He asked, he's like, he said he saw your response on Clean Prince Gaming. He said, I was wondering if Induo has any idea as to why YouTuber Clean Prince Gaming got so popular in a short amount of time. People see him almost as an authority.
You said it. I'll give credit to you. You said it in your response, your comment in that video, which is this: he does a great job of sounding authority. He really does, and he does the pizzazz. He puts up a nice pizzazz. And I'm not against it. I'm really not against Clean Prince. I've done 2 videos on him. The second one, I found nuances in it and say, hey, he's right here, he's wrong here. I'm not against everybody like that. I don't think people are, like that. But he shows the videos and he does the editing, because flashy editing makes a lot of difference with the content. I'll give a great example. Go to Dreamcast guy video earlier last year about the 3DS. He never got the numbers right on the 3DS, even though he put up a article clip on the number of 3DS that got sold. He keep on saying, well, the 3DS sold 30 million. And the first time he said, I'm like, wait, it sold over 60 million. What the hell are you talking about? And then he said, but yeah, I understand it's a 30 million. And he put up an article up from IGN. 3DS sold 60 million. I'm like, dude, you're making yourself looking like an ass. You put it, it's like literally you're putting the thing in the video. But Clean Prince Gaming, he does a lot of research. He does do research. I'm not going to deny he doesn't. But he doesn't have the connections. The reason I did abandon the thing, because I have worked with Platinum Games on I worked on Platinum Games for Mad World. Mm-hmm. My name is in the the scrolling for that. I worked on for Platinum for that, for Anarchy Reigns. I've been in Platinum Studios twice. Mm-hmm. And I've talked, like I said, I've talked to Hideki. I've talked to Shinji Mikami. I've talked to those guys, and in I keep on pronouncing his name, which is Ban. But the guy who helped do Okami and stuff with Hideki, like I've talked to them and enjoyed the conversation. And like Hideki's, he's fierce on Twitter. I give him that. He's a dick on Twitter. He literally is a dick on Twitter. But he, like, if you go to his house, like he has he's a closet that has the arcade boards. Mm-hmm. And he takes the arcade boards and plug them in and plays the game on his screen TV. The little arcade boards, not a cartridge or whatever. The legitimate arcade boards, which is like a good like a 8x7, big. Wow. Yeah. He don't buy. And he plugs it up and he plays it on his screen, his TV. Mm-hmm. He's one of those old school designers, just like Gunpei Yokoi, just like Kenji Inafune was, but he got the gaming, got the money got to his head, and he screwed up with Money Number 9 big time. He did screw up on that. But those guys are old school developers, because the reason I said about limitations, when Shigeru Miyamoto, the reason why Mario has a hat, because of the color palette, and it looked like, and the mustache, because he tried to separate the nose. That's why he put a mustache in the original Mario Jumpman and a hat over his head. Because the arcade at the time and an NES couldn't do the palette good. Mm-hmm. The reason why Mega Man does that weird awkward slide, because there was no animation to make him crawl. The same thing with Metroid. Metroid can't crawl, turns something into a morph ball. That's what limitation do, creates creativity. That's what those guys did. They they're like, okay, we can't do this. Let's figure this out. If you go to, there was an article a while ago, Shigeru Miyamoto said, I don't hire gamers. Because they're not great game designers, and they're not. I've seen so much people talk about gaming. They try so hard to be perfect in this and the graphical this, whatever. No, focus on your idea and do it. Don't try to pizzazz and wow all this crap. Make sure that the thing's working first on the system, then add your stuff. Nintendo first. I've been in EA's pitch meeting. I've been in Namco's pitch meeting, and I've been in Nintendo's pitch meeting. Nintendo figure out gameplay first before they do anything else.
Yeah.
I still remember when they came with the Cat Mario for Super Mario 3D World. There was like they asked the designers, hey, what's a new way for Mario to walk around as fast? One of the girl designers got down on her, which is kind of sexual in its own way, but she got on all fours and walked around like a cat. I'm not lying. That's what happened. And then what you got? Cat Mario suit for 3D World. For 3D World. That's what they tend to do with Splatoon. They were going around shooting ink and stuff, whatever, in Super Soakers. Splatoon. Miyamoto thought of Pikmin because of ants on his table. You saw ants moving stuff on the table. Said, "Oh, I'll make Pikmin." That's thinking. That's that game design. That is that game design that's in some cases really is needed in the industry right now. That's why I love the indie scene right now. These guys are making the most craziest games in the indies that I'm loving. There's a thing called God Rock, if I'm wrong, whatever, but it's kind of like Castlevania, but he's with this Death Rock guy. It's freaking cool. That's the best Castlevania 2D game I've seen in a long time. And also, yes, I don't call it Metroidvania. Okay, it's not. It's Metroid. I hate that dumb name. Metroid did it first. I don't hate other people. Oh, it's a Metroidvania game. No, it's not. Metroid did it first. Castlevania did it afterwards. We don't say when we say it's open world. Oh, we don't say Grand Theft. What's the other one?
This Elder Scrolls or like
no. The one that's city. The city. We got the dildo back.
Saints Row.
We don't say Grand Theft Saints Row. We say that's a Grand Theft game. You give it to the originator. So I always against that crap. But yeah, it's Team Prince. Like I said, he does fancy stuff. And the only reason because I have the numbers from Platinum itself. That's why I disagree with him. That's why I did that video. I was like, and also too, a lot of people, even though I have a small sub count, sometimes I get videos that surpass my sub count views. And people keep emailing me. I'm not lying to you. I can share emails where people tell me, do a video of this guy, do a video of this person. I'm like, I can't do all these things, man. I'm cool. I'm not making money off of this. So I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So people told me, hey, Clean Prince Game is talking about Bayonetta. I'm like, okay. I didn't watch it, and I was like, huh? That don't make no sense. Why would they do that? Okay. Well, I gotta make a video about it. Just like the Dreamcast guy. Somebody recommended the Dreamcast guy video with the 3DS, and I was like, and I'll be honest, I did not watch it. When I did that video, I watched it live and did it and record everything live and edit it later on, of course. But all my words itself was verbatim live. So when he said that Vita thing, my brain had a sharp pain in my head. And I was like, oh my God, stop. Just stop. That's just stupid. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You can't, that's not an argument, dude. And that's the sad thing about it in politics and in gaming. When people are having debates, nobody, how should I say this? We're changing the words too much. That's sad.
Yeah.
We're changing the words too much. We're not worrying about gameplay anymore because, like you said, GamePro. You remember this? What one thing a lot of game sites don't have right now that GamePro had back when in the magazine? They used to give a score on.
Fun factor.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was gonna say, like, think about Digital Foundry. The fact that they talk about the performance, frame rate, the graphics, you never hear them say if a game is fun.
You know what's funny too? I'll let you know for your listeners. You know what's funny?
But
there's a lot of games in the 7th, 6th, and even 5th generation that was 60 frames per second, but nobody talked about it back then. because we were just talking about games. We didn't give a damn about that crap. And also, this is from I've seen this a game designer. And if anybody out there want to test it, go ask a game designer. There's no such thing as lock frames per second. There's none. There is not. If a person says 60 frames lock or 30 frames lock, the game designer make the game for a higher rate that it don't drop below 60. And even if some games to drop below 60, like a 59, 58, 57, your human eyes cannot pick up on that shit. It does. You cannot. You cannot. Now, when it's 30 frames per second and it drop down to 24, you could tell because that's a higher rate to a movie cinema and down lower. You can pick that up. You can pick that up. But you can't tell 10 frames per second. And the higher you go, your eyes cannot pick it up at all. So when a game makes it 60 frames per second lock, the game was made with 70 frames and 80 frames per second higher. Because they got times where that game gonna chug. It's just gonna. You can't make a lock frame. You can't. Ask any game designer, a real game designer who does the not just design, but ask anybody who do the coding. You can't. Because who said that you went down this alleyway and then 50 enemies came at you? That game's gonna chug. Yeah. You might get that, I might not, but you can't say 60 frames per second. You can't. But it's funny how people talk about, oh man, I can't play a game that's at 60 frames per second now. Sure. Sure. Stop lying. Just stop lying. Now you guys are using specs, and people are like, oh, I remember one of my best arguments. I would say that we use non-powerful block. No, it's not the powerful optimization. We need to optimize these games. What was it? I forgot the name of the. Tetris. You remember when Tetris came out on the PlayStation 4? Mm-hmm. What was the problem with that? What was the frame rate of that game? Tetris on the PlayStation 4, the most powerful system. That thing was running 2 to 1 frames per second. Tetris. Tetris. You could go to YouTube and look at the videos. A simple game cannot run on a powerful system. Why? Because people don't optimize the game for the system.
Oh man.
So yeah, like I said, if you have any more questions, I've dropped down as much knowledge you want. Anything else you want to ask, yeah, I'll answer it. But to the guy that can with Clean Prince Gaming, he has good content. I'm not gonna deny he doesn't, but he does get wrapped up in some of his stuff. And because he used YouTube as his money, I have no that much detail to see if he, like I said, I have other channels on YouTube as Malik. No, well, he's gonna get no, but I have other channels on YouTube that does go for money. Some doesn't, some do. My music side, but I'm not. I'm even if I make money with YouTube, I'm not gonna use that money. Even though I made millions of dollars with my music, I still have a 9-to-5 job with my architecture because I made $3 million in 2007. I made $8,000 in 2008 because the market crashed. Nobody was buying nothing. Yeah, that's a big difference. And the $3 million was paid to like all my employees, so it's not like I made it myself. I had to give it to a lot of people and stuff. But my point is, YouTube is fluxing, and the market is fluxing and stuff like that. So yeah, Clean Prince, I don't know if he has a lot of stuff into gaming really, but if he does, I mean, YouTube, if he makes all his money from YouTube, he got to put out an amount of content to keep the algorithm going so he can make money.
Yeah. It's very true. And I think a lot of people get into YouTube. Like I've had a lot of smaller YouTubers ask me like how to get into it, how to make money, how to get free stuff. And it's like, that's cool. But if that's your sole objective on YouTube, that's a hard sell.
Yeah. Again, people look at people like Markiplier and PewDiePie and all those guys. Yeah, they make 14, 15, or Paul Logan and his brother, they make $15 million. Good for them. They found some way to make the money, and I never deny a person of their hustle. I've never done that. But you cannot go and think you can replicate that easy. One, and two, like I said in that 3DS game video, I said this to people. Look, people say these game designers or these companies listen to the fans. And I learned this when I was doing music. How did you become a fan? You became a fan for what I did without you saying anything in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So now you want. So I always tell designers or musicians or artists, hey, do what you do first. Take in the fan suggestions later, because they became a fan first for what you did, what you created. When you start mixing the fans more than your personal thing, you try to keep up in the market, you're gonna fall off and fail. Majority of the time, it has happened. And that's why at the end of the story of that video, I talked about how my music with Sony, they did not want to greenlight my album in 2012. They said, I need to sound like Lil Wayne. I'm like, what? Why the frick I ain't gonna sound like Wayne and Drake? Hell that. But that's what everybody was buying off the radio plays was crazy. They wanted the 808s, that auto-tune and all that stupid hip-hop music. I went back and did classic style hip-hop music, like from the 80s, like the Fuji style, Run DMC style, with the real instruments are playing. Did that. Sony said they did not give her money. I took the money. That one sold $1 million. And that's how I got into the O2. Sony was like, oh crap, this thing is selling. You want to do a show? Hey, we're going to spend the money for the O2. The only thing I had to do was spend $20,000 for the insurance. But they spend the money for the O2. We had a concert in O2. We went crazy. I still can't believe. I remember when the show was finished at 2 o'clock in the morning. We went there for 2 hours. We in the back in the green room just talking, whatever. Going to head to the bus. And I got pictures of this. And I walked out. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. So 2 hours later, people were still outside, like, dude, we like the music, blah blah blah. I'm like, and we ran because like, holy crap! All these white people chasing us. Let's go. I'm joking, but I didn't ran. We didn't ran, but yeah, it was a lot of that. And I still remember I did a show for this rapper. I'm not gonna call his name because it was wrong what happened to him. Mm-hmm. My friend of mine said, "Hey, come to this concert, do a song for one of the albums we did off of 2000. One of my albums in 2010. It went gold, but it didn't do good. But we did some. Everybody who was basically, what you call it, who were basically the lead up to the headliner,
opener,
the openers, yes. Yeah. And I was an opener. I was doing it for free because I was doing it a favor for a friend because he owned the venue. Mm-hmm. We went there, me and my ex-girlfriend at the time. We have a song which is a mixture of reggae and hip hop. Mm-hmm. Everybody was doing the dirty. This is North Carolina's the South, so they were doing all the dirty South rapping or whatever. And the headliner was a dirty South rapper. That's what I don't want to say the name because it is. But we went on just before him, right? Mm-hmm. We did a couple songs. People love us like crazy. Like, oh man, that reggae song was hot. That blah blah blah. I said, okay, it's a work night. I gotta go work. My girlfriend, my ex went inside the bathroom. She said, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, come back and say, yeah, go ahead out. Let's go drive home. I went out to the ticket guy, and this place holds like 10,000 people, so it's not a small place. Mm-hmm. But because it was so late and it was on a weekday, the ticket guy was like, "Oh man, I heard your music, man. That was awesome." Like that's like, so how much people's in there? We literally went back inside of the venue. Mm-hmm. It was. And there was not much. The guys were rapping. You thinking well, a lot of people there because he's the headliner. A lot of people left. A lot of people left. My ex-girlfriend came on. She's like, "Holy crap!" Like, you would think the headliner's on, and a lot of people left. And people came like, "Hey, I like your music. Can I buy your album?" or something. And we didn't have no albums there to sell them because we just did it for fun, and we were doing it for a favor. So that's my point. Like, you have you get too big. Some of the YouTubers' heads get too big, and they feel that they need to do it, and they start doing clickbaity. They start doing all kind of stuff, and it's bad. It's just bad. My advice to anybody out there: if you see a YouTuber who's up and coming like Malik or anybody else, and they keeping true to themselves, because again, that video you did in the car when you was talking about your channel, that's you being you. You being real.
Yeah.
That's you saying, hey, you know what? I know you guys know me for gaming, but I'm gonna talk politics because I want to learn about certain things. Those kind of people, like I'll give you like a Game Idea, Dr. Feelgood, these are YouTubers. Like these guys don't have big numbers either. They're bigger than me. They have 1 million or 1,000. Not million, sorry. They have 500 or 1,000. These guys just talk about games and have fun about it. That's it. And I have no problem enjoying their content because they've been real. They never They don't do the whole tribal crap. So, again, the gaming industry is good, guys. Enjoy whatever games you have. I mean, like I said, if you come to my channel, I'm more a Nintendo fan, but I like all kind of games. I really do. I don't care because again, I've played. It's funny. I want to do this video just for the Dreamcast guy. Sorry to harp on his ass, but I can't help it. Because remember he did. You don't remember at the end he says. Remember he said, "All right, guys, do you guys really play your 3DS?" I'm like, yes, and all that stuff. I'm like, I could show you my numbers of my 3DS that I played. One, but two, again, it's still crazy. You're asking people, do they really play the 3DS? But I guarantee you don't ask them have they played the Vita. And I don't trust me. I have a Vita. The Vita has some great games on that son of a gun. Sad that it didn't sell well, but like the last two games, the one game that I love right now and that I got hooked up in was Trials of Cold Steel.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
That's a really good one. I'm on the ending part of 2 right now, but 1 was good. 2 is good. They have a 3rd one's coming out. That's why I wanted to buy a PlayStation 4 to play Trials of Cold Steel 3 and 4 that's coming out. 3 came out. 4 they're working on 4. I want to play SRW. I love SRW, Super Robot original story, the original saga, not the crazy anime one. The original story where they did their own story. The story is really good. And the action is really good. But of course, the continuation is on a PlayStation. It's a PlayStation exclusive. I'm cool with that. I'll pick it up for the exclusive. And of course, they have other games on there. Crash Bandicoot, which I already played and got from my cousin, and Ratchet and Clank. I like that and stuff like that. Like I'm gonna get a PlayStation anyway because of stuff like that. The reason I'm not gonna get an Xbox because most of the games is coming to PC and I have a PC. Sorry. I'm not gonna buy an X console when I have something that could place it, and I have it configured in my house that I could shoot the PC to my gaming TV, and play through there.
And so that's the thing I think Microsoft is doing, because I don't really think that they even care about. And it goes back to what you were saying earlier. They've been trying to get rid of the console because they've realized that they can sell games as a service,
and that's what they're gonna do. Well, here's the thing. There's 2 articles, one on Eurogamer and one that just came out now. I forgot where it came from. Phil Spencer just talked about the whole gaming service, and the one from Eurogamer, if you read it, he was talking about Microsoft needs Xbox division needs to be breakdown and rebuilt because he talked about how toxic the culture of Xbox, the Xbox division is. The division, not the gamers, not the gamers, whatever. How to get things on the same idea, because I saw this video. Who said it? They were saying it was it was King Prince Gaming. He got that wrong again in his new video. That Xbox. Some people say that Nintendo sold Rare to Xbox, and some people say that Nintendo wasn't gonna keep up with. Look, the Salah brothers said you could go to them their Twitter page or whatever, but they said it themselves. They wanted more. They wanted more control over the games, which Nintendo basically does take control because they want a quality game. And we can't say they didn't put out quality games when it was on the Nintendo.
Yeah,
you might not like Donkey Kong 64, but it wasn't broken. It was a fetch like an ass, but it wasn't broken. You wasn't broken. Jet Force Gemini wasn't broken. Cool game. The ending was kind of hard because of how the way the game set up, but it wasn't broken. All the games that they made for Nintendo was never broken. It was good games they could play. Glitches, of course, yes, but broken. When I mean broken, it's broken. You have that. They wanted to get away from the underneath Nintendo umbrella, so they put themselves out to sale.
Yeah, and
Microsoft picked them up and buy majority share from Nintendo, so they became Microsoft. Rare became Microsoft, or Rareware. I mean, Rare Unlimited. Sorry, no Rareware. It's Rareware. My mistake. Rareware. They gave them that. 2 years later, the Salah brothers left Rare and left all the people there. And you could tell with Perfect Dark Zero and all the other games they put up, Banjo Nuts and Bolts and everything. Viva Piata was the only one that kind of made it great because it was something different and they did a good job on that, but that's about it. 2 years ago, one of the celebrities came out and said we should have never took the money. We should have never took Microsoft's money. We should have stayed with Nintendo.
Man.
He said we should have never took the money. We should have stayed with Nintendo. We made a mistake. And I will leave you one last insider detail right here. If you go to my channel, the reason I don't like Capcom to a certain degree, I don't care. As long as they make good games, I still buy their games. I'm not like say I'm a boycott. I don't say the whole boycott shit because that's stupid. Mm-hmm. I just like to buy what I want to buy. If I don't like it, like Malik said, if I don't like it, I don't buy it. It's plain and simple. Nobody's forcing a gun to my head to buy these games. You don't like what they're doing with this game for Xbox, don't buy it. You don't like what EA is doing with Battlefront, don't buy it. That speaks way better than ranting and raving at YouTube and bitching, and you still buy the freaking game. It's there in your review. Oh, well, here's the game. And what? Why are you buying the game?
Or they gave it to you.
Yeah. So you can get a positive review and all that crap. But the reason I don't like third parties per se, and I'll be honest with this, and my videos on it. If you ever go to my channel, you see this. Mm-hmm. So Nintendo and PlayStation screwed up themselves, and then PlayStation became a thing. All right, 64 came out. 64 was more powerful than the PlayStation 1, but because Nintendo stick with cartridges and PlayStation owned the media to do CDs, that's why they wanted the 90% on the games. That's what they did. That people went towards PlayStation, and PlayStation had third parties wanted the space. They wanted the space. You could put all the stuff, blah blah blah. That's cool. I understand that. 64 had great games. The first console that had 4. Remember, they had the Rumble Pack. They had and again, I'll be honest with this thing. Nintendo sometimes re-innovates, but also mainstream a lot of ideas. The first wireless controller was made back in with the Atari. It was radio frequencies, really old school. But when the Wavebird came around, they made it what it is today. If it wasn't for the Wavebird coming better, we would have never had a wireless controllers we have right now.
Yeah.
But Nintendo didn't invent it. They just mainline it. Just like the analog sticks. 64, analog, 3D games became easy. Rumble Pack is in all our console game pads right now. Like stuff like that, whatever. So, and of course, they were the first console that had 4 players because you remember on Genesis and Super Nintendo, you had to have on the PlayStation, you had to have that 4-player adapter. And there was not many games that was doing that anyway. Because you had to buy the adapter, they didn't do that. But so PlayStation dominated that cycle. Sega messed up with Saturn, making it hard to develop, and it was messed up like that. Then came, and the person I'm talking about is Yamaguchi, the late great Yamaguchi. He was one of one time he was, because of Nintendo, he was one of the richest men in Japan. Of course, he makes a lot of whatever. But Yamaguchi told they got Factor 5. They got an outside party like Factor 5 and asked Factor 5 to help them develop the GameCube. You know the reason why the the reason why they got Factor 5 to do it, because this is what Factor 5 did. When Nintendo screwed up and it said, "Shit, the PlayStation is already out. We can't let PlayStation be out there for that long." Listen to the 64. The 64 was developed to do one game and one game only. Mario 64. Factor 5 came in, reverse engineered the dev kit so third parties could make, and Factor 5 sold the dev kit so third parties could make games like NBA Jam and Snowboard Kids and blah 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 blah. But my point is they did that. So yeah, so they asked Factor 5 to say, "Hey guys, can you guys help us make the GameCube?" Yamaguchi went out his way to ask all third parties what you guys want. And you said this when you were talking, I think it's you said about Lucas when you were talking to Lucas. Back in the day, so they wanted a powerful console, they did it. They want someone in the sound chip, in fact, they did it. The third party side, they said we want a media that people can't copy easy. Because I have copied games from Dreamcast because you can copy.
Yeah, super easy.
Yeah, I also have it for PlayStation 2 as well. Sorry, but they asked Nintendo, "Hey, can you guys not make something that's hard to copy?" Okay, so they come up with 3.5 disc. Everybody bitching about, "Oh, it's so hard. You need 2," and then some of them were like, "Oh, you need 2 game discs to make a game." Well, tell that to PlayStation and Xbox. If you go back and ask for double games with double disc, they had them on those consoles too. So that was a stupid argument. I used to hate that. Rich Review hang his hat on that stupid shit. But my point was, Yamauchi asked third parties and got exclusive deal with Capcom and everybody to make games for the GameCube. Signed, sealed, delivered. All of them turned their back on Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's why Yamauchi said in the Wii, when they was doing the Wii, they said, I don't care what anybody else do. We're not going to do Power. We're going to do us. They're going to do us. They did us. The Wii sold. They got the casuals in there. I know people don't like the casual. I ain't got nothing against casuals because for some reason, hardcore games, we don't want to. It's a game. If you don't like it, don't buy it. That's like I said before. Mm-hmm. But you have casual games. We sold like crazy, whatever. Iwata was a good person. I respect the man. Never met him. I wish I would, but I didn't met him. But the one thing he did, and which I'm going to do a video about this specifically, that I did not like, he gave third parties a chance with the Wii U. And he should have never did that. He should have did, and that's why when I was in Japan, and I have a video, of course, of that. When I was in Japan in 2015, I said, people was asking me, what is it like being in Nintendo office? They're like, right? And when they talk about third parties and all this stuff, it's like, technically speaking, walking around here, Nintendo is basically saying third parties, F them. We don't give a damn. They screwed us over so many times. That's why they came out with the Switch. Every game for the Switch except for Fire Emblem Warriors. That was a major exclusive for the Switch. Except for Fire Emblem because basically Mario ate up that. That was 2 weeks apart. Come on. That was wrong, Nintendo. Really.
That really was.
But other than that, every game was a million seller. Every one. Every single last one. Pokken, over 1 million. Rayman Battle Kingdom, over 1 million. Of course, Mario Kart Deluxe, Splatoon, ARMS, Mario, Xenoblade, Zelda, every one of them. So way surpassed what they did. That's why when they release their numbers by the end of this month, the first quarter of last year, Nintendo made $1.4 billion US, not yen, US in the first quarter. That's insane. And all they had at that time was Zelda, the Switch, 3DS games, of course, don't get me wrong, and Mario Kart Deluxe. They made $1.4 billion. How much you think they're going to make after a year? and also Nintendo has $14 billion in a bank account. 14 in a savings. $14 billion savings. The company's worth over $200 billion with all the IPs they own, which is ridiculous.
They're not going anywhere.
And even if they stop gaming, because people say, "Oh, Nintendo should stop making hot consoles," whatever. They've been around for 128 years.
Yep,
that's a long time. They're gonna do something. If I live to be the right place, like my grandma will be 90 years old, and Nintendo's not making games, which it can happen. The name Nintendo is gonna still be around. They might not be making games. They might be doing cars. They might be doing something different because they went from Hinafuda cards to playing cards to art to love hotels sometimes, which was weird back in those days, to arcades. You know the Wii Vitality Sensor that people was bitching and saying, "Oh, where's that gimmick going?" The Wii Vitality. You know they use the Wii Vitality Sensor in hospitals in Japan when people are in comas.
No, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, they do that, and I saw it live. I was like, "Wow, yeah." So they're doing the quality of life. People are like, "Oh, the quality." No, they're doing that. A lot of people, 66% of Nintendo's profit comes from people who make families. So right now, Malik, if you get kids, I'm just saying, you and your wife, if you get kids and you play games, you're gonna introduce your kids to Nintendo and other consoles, of course. Don't get me wrong, you're a gamer.
Yeah.
But you will be considered a family because you introduce them to a new thing. That's what 66% of Nintendo's profit comes from families. Yeah. The rest is hardcore. So people always talk about, "Oh, you got to kill you guys got to kill it to the hardcore fans." You're the ones who screwed us over with the Wii U, so fuck you.
That's so true.
I'm just saying. So there's no other than Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. There's no game that's installed on the Wii U. That's from Nintendo. None. That when you put in that disc and people say, "Oh, that's actually that bar." That bar is to check to see that you didn't hack your system. That's what that was. When you put in the game in the Wii U the first time, is to check. You could skip it, and I did it. And then you didn't have to install some because I have a video on my channel when I got Star Fox for this other guy. I bought Star Fox brand new, put it in the console. Didn't have the internet hooked up. Didn't have to install none. The game worked day one, no problem. I want a gaming. I'm sorry. I want a gaming console. If I want to watch movies, I have a smart TV that has Netflix and everything. I have a phone that does the exact same thing. I just want a gaming console to play games. Again, like you just said a second ago. Put in the cartridge, see the company, see the publisher, play the game. That's all I want.
That's it.
That's all I want, man.
All right.
Like I said, I'm gonna take some of it. I'll take this video and put it on an Endure channel. This has been awesome talking to you again. If anybody maybe we do it again. If anybody has questions about insider stuff, there's a lot of behind the scenes that I didn't. Of course, I can't say in just the first these 2-hour podcasts. Really, I can't. There's a lot more behind the scenes that is crazy that I've seen from game designs and publishers just screwing up, and you seeing the data and you just don't. It's crazy. But I am with Malik that there's a lot of armchair analysts out there. Do not get your gaming. If people just enjoy the games, people. That's all I could tell you.
And that's it, man. Y'all need to just enjoy the games. If it's something you like. It's okay. If it's something you're not interested in, just don't buy it.
Yeah.
No, it's
that simple. Thank you. Yeah, it's just that simple. I think Microsoft is going to leave the console market. I don't want Microsoft to leave the console market. The more you have different competitors, the more better games to be coming out. That's just a simple business sense. That's business 101. If you have somebody to challenge you, you become a better person.
Yep.
Because
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I want to say that's in real life. If you have somebody to challenge you, you become a better person. Because the problem is, as a friend told me when one of my guys who passed away, he said, the hardest thing, the life is tough. And the person that's going to hold you back in life is yourself. 90% of life you can't do nothing about. 10% is you reacting to what life is. So seriously, yep. Just enjoy the games. Xbox come out. If Sea of Thieves looks like a great game, pick it up and enjoy it. If it looks good, I'll get it for my PC because it's going on PC. So, but I will hopefully things go well and I'll buy a PlayStation 4 and play some Spider-Man. I want to say I want to play God of War, but I got burned out. But I could say I could come back and play it. I'm not saying I'm not interested in it. I'm just saying we'll see because I've played on the PlayStation Vita 2, the one on the Vita, and the 3 before. Kind of get a little thing for it, but I might jump back in and like it and see what's going on. And again, I got a Vita. I got I don't have only Nintendo consoles. I have a PlayStation Vita. I have a PlayStation 2, Dreamcast. Hell, I still play my old consoles.
Yep, same here. All right, man. Tell people where they can find you.
Well, like I said, you guys could catch me at N-DUO Endure channel again. Just come in there, watch this stuff. Again, the last video I did was a lot of people liked it because I have segments, of course. I have some called Endcast where I get a lot of people to come in, but I did one in a while because schedule has been crazy. I do some called LBC when people say stupid things, and LBC is short for loss of brain cells. When somebody says something that's stupid, your brain just hurt. I have WTF, which is basically asking the question to people like, what the F? Why are you guys doing this? But it's that. And I have another series called Mic Check. And Mic Check is basically when people say stuff wrong and I correct them on it. Like I did a response correct. Not saying they're whatever, but I did a response correct. And then like Malik, like I said, I do reviews, but not too much because my advice to people with reviews, check out multiple sources. Just do. Check out multiple sources and enjoy what you got. You can't do no better than doing multiple sources. You won't be wrong. If you got a good head on your shoulders and you could decipher a lot of stuff, critical thinking, which is lost in America right now, But if you have critical thinking, you can see, oh, I like this, I like that. You know what? Those likes outdo, because I can tell you right now, for the Wii U, I bought 2 games that's kind of got to shut down, like you were saying, Malik. I bought Devil's Third. Not really a good looking game, but you know what? It's a shooter with hack and slash, and it's fun. It's just chaotic fun. That's why I like it. You can do style with it. And then I bought a game called Legend of Kid that was on PlayStation 2, and I bought it. All right game. The camera is shitty. It just is. The camera angles are just shitty. So, but you know what? I enjoy the fun out of it. And I've bought games that people said was like Codename Steam. They gave it a 3 or 4, and like Malik said, he got the games that he bought that I enjoy. So go with your gut feeling. Enjoy these games, man. And basically, for me, my phrase I said almost at the end of my video is: there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Enjoy your games on all consoles, even PC. That's it for me.
All right, and with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this podcast. I want to thank everyone who's came through on the chat, that's been watching it, has been giving thumbs ups and retweets and reshares. We thank you for that. Make sure you go subscribe to Induo's channel. I got the link down in the description below. And with that being said, man, this has been one hell of a podcast. I've had a lot of fun. The information, just the knowledge you've been hitting us with, man, I greatly appreciate it. We got to get you on again. And I look forward to being yours as well.
No problem, my friend. No problem, of course. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, man. If you want to put this on your channel, you can. Just it's all up to you, man. I don't care.
Oh, I will. I ask permission, unlike certain people who steal my shit. But anyway, that's another topic.
All right, so we'll catch everybody later. Deuces wild, too sweet, be the elite, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.